understand why you have to sleep with your spouse, because it's like you're sleeping. You're not doing. I mean, okay, if you're gonna make love or something, okay, cool. But
well,
you're not trying to get in their pants anymore. That's
no. It's like it's. In fact, that would probably put back some of the mystery.
Very wealthy people have never shared the same bedroom.
Yeah, you know, I've seen houses, you know, with like wealthy people where they always have separate sleeping things, and I always laugh and I always go,
they're weird.
Yeah, meanwhile, that's not weird at all. That makes total sense.
They're getting rest.
Yeah.
You guys are complaining.
I'm sitting there with a woman in bed who's grabbing the sheets, grabbing the covers, snoring.
You're fighting.
Yeah. My wife snores. I mean, she does.
Oh.
She never used to, but she does. She does, and it's I have to smack her.
Oh, will you stop?
I go, boom, stop it.
See, you wouldn't even know that if she had another bedroom.
And I don't want to know that about a woman. It's like, and then I'm up. And I'm awake and I'm ready to party. And it's 1 o'clock and there's no one to do a show with. So I get up and I eat something and I lay there and I twist and I turn and it's like I know I'm annoying her, but I don't care. She could sleep all day. I don't know. Now I'm exhausted. I just want to go home. I take a break. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, I'll take some phone calls, because that's where we were at yesterday when we had to leave. I was supposed to take phone calls.
Oh, okay.
We never get to do it.
But I don't know why you have to sleep together either, because you're not going to roll over and make love.
Because my wife thinks...
Spontaneously, you don't do it.
My wife would probably think it's the end of the marriage if we start sleeping apart. And I don't.
What difference would it make?
None to me.
You're not together when you're sleeping anyway.
I know. She walks in, I'm asleep. I don't know what it is.
But then it'd be, well, we don't really need to live in the same house.
Yeah, you think that's the next step? I love you, but I don't need to live with you.
That might be crazy.
It's not like you two cuddle, wrap around each other at night or anything, and you would miss her if she wasn't there.
I do have a separate little, like a little pool house I could sleep in.
No, you don't need to be in another house.
Yeah, but I need to be alone when I sleep. It was so great because they went down to Disneyland for 3 days. I slept like the best I ever. Yeah, like I was so rested and enjoyed myself so much.
Hope the plane breaks down.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you pray that like
on the ground.
Yeah, right on the ground. Nothing serious.
Nothing serious. You don't want them crashing.
No. Yeah. 7-week delay.
I mean, the premise is that you're going to lie there with your arm around each other, and
we used to be like
down to maybe you kiss her on the shoulder if you remember once.
I wouldn't even do that. I don't even do that. That sounds like a really neat thing to do, but I don't even do that. Yeah. 20 years ago, when I used to get the first sleep with my wife, I can remember winding into her arms and her and mine. And
intertwining.
There were times we used to sleep like just hugging each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like you couldn't. Yeah, oh, for God's sake. Now it's like, can you just get out of the bed and sleep on the floor?
Give me back my covers.
It's different.
My pillow.
Yeah, oh, it's just such an angry thing to sleeping. And, it's like our agent always has this discussion with me because I keep saying I want to leave radio in a year. And he says, oh, how can you leave? I said, well, why don't you just start getting up at 4 in the morning every day and tell me if you could do it.
For a week.
Yeah,
Not
it
forever,
sucks.
for a week.
Yeah, that would be the end of his life.
Oh, it would. Because he loves going out at night.
Yeah, he loves his nightlife.
Yeah, oh, boy. Take that away from him, he might as well just kill himself.
People like that
no reason to
this
live.
is fine, except you can't go out at night.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Yeah. Like, maybe I'd like to.
If I am out on the street at 6 o'clock in the evening and I see all these people running around, I wonder what they're doing there. How come they're out?
If we weren't in radio, the truth of the matter is I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to go out at night anyway, but I do like to stay up. Like, I remember when we worked at NBC, I used to stay up till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm basically a night person. I never worked these hours before, and I never went to bed before 3 o'clock.
I just said,
I ignore you when we're talking about sleep.
Yeah. So he doesn't understand it, but, hey, he doesn't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day either.
I see people when I'm coming to work, coming home from dates. I wonder what that's like to be just out all night.
Oh, I don't want to be out all night because that would mean I'd just be more miserable at night.
Huh?
I like to be asleep early. Earlier I get to sleep, the less painful life is.
Oh, yeah.
So I like to get as much sleep as possible.
Oh, man, if you leave here, then you're just going to sleep 24 hours.
That's the idea. I don't fear death.
Oh, listen to you.
It's just
this is the man who says,
you get to sleep.
Don't even take me off life support.
Wow. The less life there is, the more I like it. All right, let's take a break, and then when I come back, I'm going to take some phone calls. And also, we have a couple of things going on today. Stuttering John, of course, with you downs. I didn't get to it yesterday. I will.
That's right.
Also, there will be some women coming down today for auditions. If anybody wants to come down, we're having a Halloween party on Monday, but we need a couple of really good bikini girls.
It's Friday. I'm forgetting.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
Ready?
And some other things I'll tell you when we get back, right after these words.
Hi, it's John Tesh from Entertainment Tonight. You are listening to The Howard Stern Show, and so am I, but really only on days when he's not talking dirt about me.
All right, John Tesh. I like it. You watch Entertainment Tonight still, where they come out in the beginning, him and Mary Hart, and they're in their casual look?
Yeah. I see them, strolling through some, junkyard.
And Mary Hart looks really goofy in casual clothes.
You know what? I said something about the fact that she was always dressed up.
Yeah.
And now she has gone to jeans and stuff.
Yeah, well, she should go back to the dressed up.
Because she's not a jeans person.
She ain't a jeans kind of gal. I have to agree with you.
But what are they walking through and over? I'm always afraid they're going to trip and kill this thing.
Yeah. Especially John Tesh is so big. Big and bulky.
And gorky.
Let's see. Let's get this going. All right, let's take a few phone calls.
I did hear that he and Connie were working so hard that they had decided to scale back their schedules in order to protect their marriage.
And what is he working on?
I don't know. That music, I guess, is in the garage.
And I don't see her in anything, so what is she working on?
She must be auditioning.
Yeah. Hi, you're on the air.
How you doing, Howard?
All right.
Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
I got a joke for Jackie the Joke Man.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm a nurse, and I take care of this 92-year-old gentleman.
You're a nurse? A male nurse?
Is that the joke?
Homo. Are you a homo?
No, I'm happily married with an 8-month-old baby.
I don't know. Male nursing, that's a weird thing, man.
Howard?
That's a girl's job.
You think you have a lot of women walking around you, Howard. Try working as a nurse.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. You know, you always have fantasies.
I don't know why you have a problem with a man doing something that is traditionally
something feminine?
Woman's work.
I don't have a problem with it. I think most male nurses are homos.
It's just like a woman being a truck driver.
Yeah, it's weird.
There are a lot of fudge packers, but
fudge packers.
Oh, man.
I am not a rump wrestler. Sorry. Okay, you ready?
So what was your second career choice? Secretary?
No. My second career choice, I was a chef first.
We knew a guy at NBC who was a secretary, and he wasn't a rump wrangler, as you say, but it was really weird. Like, he was a secretary, and I always felt weird for him because I know he felt weird, we felt weird, or
Which guy are you talking about?
I don't know the guy's name. He was one of these guys who was a male secretary, and he I know it was kind of weird because I don't know, you could tell it was just weird. I don't know.
Maybe it was just you. I mean, didn't he choose the job?
Yeah, he did, but I could tell he felt weird about it. And
well, why would you do that?
I think he even tried to sort of demonstrate that he wasn't exactly a secretary, that he was just using this as a stepping stone to something else. It's just weird. Women are lucky. They get that advantage where a lot of women get into, like, really cool jobs because they start out as secretaries and then they work their way in. Mm-hmm. Like Fran Shea from the E! Network, I think, was a secretary to start. But guys can't do that. Can't start out as secretary.
They remain secretaries, huh?
Well, it's kind of hard to start out as a secretary and get over that stigma.
Well, what about being, there's guys who rise up from the mailroom.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
I think that it's because you're prejudiced against
Not me. I'm not prejudiced at all.
Right, listen to you.
I don't have a prejudice bone. I'm not Bob Grant. That's so funny. I love reading, for anyone who lives in New York, I love reading about how Bob Grant's a racist and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are after him. It's so great.
What do you think of the Art Shell thing, Howard?
What?
What do you think of the Art Shell thing?
Art?
Did you hear about that?
Shell thing?
Art Shell is a black football coach.
Yeah, what's his problem?
And Jeff Hostetler and he had a fight.
Oh, yeah, I read about that, where he called him a white guy.
Yeah.
And that's a racial slur?
Well, yeah, I guess if you turn to a football player and go, hey, you black guy, Jesse Jackson would be out there.
Nobody would ever turn to somebody and say, hey, you black guy.
No. Yeah, right, no one would. So Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton would be out there boycotting. I think the whole thing is a racial comment, of course, but and the reason that everyone's getting so sensitive about it is because many times you read that, black guys, and rightly so, get offended by being called black guys. White guys get offended by being white guys.
And the black guys get offended because they're called nigger, Howard. Let's be serious.
No. If you went up to a football player and you said, "Hey, you're a black guy," you know, in some derogatory way.
It never happens that way.
No, because you get your ass beat.
Hell yeah.
I think Jeff Hostetler should have beat that guy's ass. That's what I think.
Well, he's a black guy. He couldn't beat him up.
No, he could beat that guy up. He's pretty old.
Okay, you ready?
That's what I think.
I don't even... He called him a white guy?
Yeah. Called him a white guy.
Jeez, that's terrible.
He made an issue of his race. In other words, he was yelling at him, and he goes, "Hey, you white guy." See? Made an issue of his race.
Maybe he was saying that because Hostetler wasn't listening to him, and he thought, "You're not listening to me because you're a white guy."
All right, if Tom Chiasano was yelling at you, right?
Yes.
You had done something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I wouldn't let that happen, that he'd yell at you, but okay, let's just say...
thank you for protecting me, Massa.
Yeah, I would have.
Oh.
So anyway, I said I would stick up to you.
I work for Tom, remember?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. That's just the point. You don't work for Tom.
Then I would not let Tom yell at me.
Sure. Just listen to this. So Tom's yelling at me. He goes, "Shut up, black girl." Now, would you take that as a racial insult? Would you think that he was bringing race into the discussion? He was talking to you about job performance, and he goes, "You're a black girl. That's why you do this."
Oh, I don't know. It would depend on the conversation.
Oh, come on. Of course you'd be insulted.
Not
what does race have to do with your performance on the job?
Oh, if he was talking about my performance on the job?
Yes. What do you think he's talking to you about?
Right. He could be talking to me about anything.
Oh, please. Of course you'd be insulted. Of course you would be. You would come to me and say, "Howard, you got to hear this one." You would.
No, I think I would take that up with Tom.
Yeah, you would take it up with Tom, and then after you smacked him in the head with a frying pan, you would tell me what you just did and say, what's the damage control on this? Oh, for goodness sake. Of course, that's wrong what he did to Jeff Hostetler, and Jeff Hostetler should have beat his ass.
Jeff Hostetler said he didn't even notice any racial comments.
Oh. No, he's a big dope.
See? This is why I have a problem.
He's not on the lookout for things like that, like I am. I'm keenly aware of these things. Yes.
Okay, you ready for my joke?
All right, quickly. I hate
very
jokes.
Quickly.
Jackie knows I hate jokes.
Okay. Boy and a girl go to the ice cream parlor. They get
No.
Oh,
That's
all
right. Thank you.
It's clean.
No. It's. You don't understand. When you ask him to stump a joke, you have to ask a riddle joke.
No, this is good. This is good. Trust me.
No, we'll never know, will we? Miami, you're on the air. Boy and a girl go to a ice cream parlor. You're on the air.
Howard.
Yes.
Listen, I'm from Detroit. I have a entertainments paper I get.
A what?
An entertainments paper. You know, it says what's going on in clubs.
Entertainments paper?
Yes.
Why are you adding an S to entertainment?
What?
Start over again.
Different entertainments. Plural.
No, there's no entertainments paper.
Okay,
it's an entertainment.
An entertainment publication.
Okay, go ahead.
And Stuttering John is appearing, or was appearing, at a rock club.
Okay.
What does he do?
He has a band.
Stuttering John has a band. What does he do?
He sings.
He sings, and he plays guitar. He has an album out, a CD.
I've never heard you mention it.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about it a lot.
Well, I'm in Miami.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you just started with us.
Right.
Yeah, he has a band called Stuttering John, which I named. And he...
You know what? Probably the name is causing a problem because they had Stuttering John listed, and he just thinks Stuttering John is appearing, not the band.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, Stuttering John is the name of the band.
I thought like maybe he was the MC or something.
No, he could be. I mean, he could be doing that also.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what he's doing. Ask him. What do you want from me? He has a band that's going nowhere. He thinks he's going to be a rock star. Meanwhile, what he's going to be is working here for very little money for the rest of his life. I hate to break the news to him. You're on the air in Orlando. Does anybody here think John's going to become a big rock star? I'll go around the room. Jackie, tell the truth.
I was very scared it was going to happen, but I'm not as frightened as I was.
I was scared it was going to happen, too.
Yeah, I think we all went through that momentary
Let's
pain.
be honest.
I still think it can happen, but I'm not as scared.
It could be an accident.
When his album was first coming out, weren't you getting really nervous that he might actually become something? We'd have to deal with that?
What did I tell you? I said, look, if John becomes a big star, I'm not going to be able to take it.
Yeah, we're going to have to leave.
Were you picturing him like popping in here once every 6 months?
Yeah, we'd have to kiss his ass.
I just said that I'm just not going to be able to handle that.
Yeah, me neither. Like, you know.
I didn't think it was going to happen. It just was a nightmare that was a possibility.
Right, yeah, it would have been real
you know
bad.
what I said to John? You just better give me $1 million so I can leave the business.
I know Jackie would have been suicidal. I would have been pretty bad, but Jackie would have been...
Fred is suicidal just at the fact he got a record deal.
I know. And Fred hasn't faced it yet. Here's the loser now.
Oh, come on.
Thank God your album failed.
What do you mean? I don't judge it as failing.
Well, we do.
The first album.
That's all that counts.
We feel safe.
He also thinks that Jessica Tandy's going to wake up.
Like I said before, I'll say it again, Jackie. One album I sold more than your whole catalog.
There you go.
It's not true, John.
Yes, it is. You had 18 albums out, right? How many did you sell total? Be honest.
About 80,000.
Oh, bullcrap. You told me you hadn't even sold 30.
Trying to make you feel good.
Oh, yeah. Good. All right, 80,000. Still.
He was #1 in the jukeboxes, don't you remember?
Oh, I wasn't even counting that. 80,000.
Add another 3 to that.
80,007.
Wasn't even counting that. What do you want, a car phone? Hello? Oh, I can't take that. What did you sell, 50,000 albums?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Boy, that number jumps around, huh?
Yeah, it does.
He sold 80,000 the first week.
Yeah, but that was shipped.
And then the total was 15.
Yeah.
Now he rounded it off.
50,000. Exactly 50,000.
By the way, how I'm gonna, if
I heard it was 50,001.
You know, if I can, well, you know, I'll do it. I was gonna say I'm gonna be selling them like, you know,
in the shoebox.
No, I'm gonna through the line, you know, through my own line I'll be selling them. They're not available everywhere.
I don't want to say this.
How am I want to say?
It's only not articulate.
If you call 201-942-OUCH, you can get the album. I'm gonna sign them.
Are you gonna do like Jackie and something?
Well, it's a Christmas rush. I'm gonna do signed albums for Christmas, and then I'm gonna take it off the market.
Might be a good idea if you do that.
That was good.
And actually, I'm in November. I write for my next album.
Oh, so they've signed you for a second album?
I hope so. But if not, what?
You're going to start writing whether they have a second album or not?
Oh, yeah.
You had a good first album. Why didn't they release another video so you could have gotten, taken a second song? They're not behind you, man.
Now, a lot of people, even I think over there, thought it was a novelty, too.
Stuttering John, what is it?
No, that was it. I thought we were going to talk about that now.
No, I see. About what?
About the Zookeeper, but I'll have...
Yeah, we'll talk about the Zookeeper in a minute. Let me just take care of Shannon Doherty. I'm anxious to hear what she has to say.
I just want to stay in for this because, you know, I've been dealing with a publicist.
Is that right?
And we never had her on the show. And I've called like a half a dozen times.
Yeah.
And they just said she's too busy. She's always too busy.
Yeah, she's busy doing nothing. I know her. I went to dinner with her one night.
I know. But I'm sitting there watching her on TV, and I say, he's had dinner with her. Why has she never done the show?
She claims that the publicist never told her that we wanted her.
Right. Well, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, these publicists are all full of crap. I'm going to fire my publicist just because of these other publicists.
Oh, you're going to blame her?
Yeah.
But...
Oh, whoops.
You really like that song.
Yeah. All right, here's Stuttering John. Where did you run into her?
At NBC. She did live at 5.
Oh, so she looks cute, huh?
She looks really cute.
Yeah.
She's like tiny. I didn't know that she was like... I thought she was like, you know, taller than me, but she's really short.
Well, you know, now she's doing these talk shows. She's trying to convince everyone that she's sane.
And a real actress.
Right.
Howard, she patiently signed about 50 autographs.
Well, she's got to do that. She has such a bad reputation. She's got to... And not only that, she's nervous because she sees... You know, she left Beverly Hills 90210, and what is she doing? Margaret Mitchell story. Big
When
deal.
she had a regular paycheck, it seems she had trouble paying bills.
Right.
Doesn't she remind you, like, of Sean Young? She's trying to convince everybody she's normal, but you can see that loony
crazy
person
look.
there waiting to get out.
There's a loony person locked in there.
Those eyes tell the story.
I had dinner with her. The girl couldn't say 2 words. I don't know what was going on.
People are in awe.
Have you ever seen that, like...
Thank you, Robin. I don't know why.
Very hard to speak around.
Jessica Hahn had no problem talking.
Howard, did you ever see that soft porn movie she did?
Yeah, I've seen that. She's got a great body.
Oh,
great body.
Is that pre or post breast implant?
Post
Yeah.
Post breast implant.
God.
Is that the one she did with
Judd Nelson.
Judd Nelson?
I've seen that twice.
A big fan.
Big fan of that movie. Just the naked parts I've seen. Yeah, I've watched that. Very nice-looking girl. No question about it. That's one hot broad.
Then why did they make her look so bad in that Margaret Mitchell story?
Because whenever a girl... Let me explain something to you, Robin.
Right.
Whenever a girl tries to become...
Take me under your wing.
Yeah, whenever a girl tries to become a serious actress, they ugly themselves up for the camera. And that immediately ends their career.
Because I mean, she didn't look like herself in that. I saw the first part of that miniseries, or whatever it was, the little movie.
Well, she was playing somebody ugly, so...
Why do you? I don't know what Margaret Mitchell looks like.
I don't even care about Margaret Mitchell. So she should have come on this show.
Yeah, she was here all day yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
For that, for the movie.
Yeah.
Well, she promises me that she's going to call in.
Well, who cares? I don't want to call her. I want to get her in the chair. Call. What am I? Dirt? What am I? Bernadette Castro?
Why don't you call live at 5?
Yeah, let her call live at 5 and then come on this show, please. All right, here's Shannon Doherty.
Shannon, can I ask you a question with WXRK Radio?
Sure.
How come you didn't do the Howard Stern show today?
How come I didn't do Howard Stern? Howard Stern didn't ask me.
I thought you were booked on the show, but then you got canceled.
No, not to my knowledge.
Are you a fan?
Am I a fan of Howard's? Howard and I have a history. He knows what it's all about.
Damn right I do. I was playing footsie under the table.
No, I was never mad at Howard. Are you joking?
Why don't you come on tomorrow?
Because I'm going back out of town tomorrow. I go back to L.A. tomorrow.
What do you think, O.J. Innocent or guilty?
I don't think I'm allowed to comment on stuff like that. I'm not in the jury, so it doesn't matter.
How come she's not allowed to comment?
I don't know. Maybe she's in office or on the jury. I'm not sure.
Her answer
She's a celebrity.
She does answer the next question, which finally somebody answers it the way you'd like.
Or what I think.
Would you let your kids be babysitted by Michael Jackson?
No. That's a clear-cut answer. No.
All right.
So it isn't that you're mad at Howard or anything?
Absolutely not. I love Howard.
Oh, really?
I love Howard.
Oh.
I think Howard's the best.
Was the kid call in this week or something?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. How can I get
I'll
give you the home number, man. No. No,
but they should. You guys would know who to call, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I think we did, and that's how this didn't happen.
No, that's impossible. Because I would think that they would have to tell me about it, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
sure.
Did anybody ask you about it?
No.
And that's the problem.
And that is the problem.
How many times did you call her publicist?
Well, this time only once, but I mean, I've called.
What is the name of her publicist?
Oh gosh,
what is the name? Let me broadcast that name. I want to broadcast that name.
We should call them later in the day, get them on the phone, and play them.
Yeah, this tape.
Shannon saying she would love to do the show, but we haven't asked.
Publicist. They're protecting her. She's got to get word out on a special. Who else is going to watch that thing? Unless I carry on about it. You'll watch. I'll do nothing in the ratings.
Publicist.
Probably.
All right, Shannon. Thanks a lot. All right.
Sure.
I'll see you. Big fan.
Thanks.
You're a big fan? I didn't know.
No, he lies.
I don't watch Beverly Hills 90210.
No, but I was.
I do.
I saw her, and I saw that porn movie. I was.
What's the name?
I don't have the name handy because, I looked at my card, but she's been through a few.
Call my girlfriend. She knows it, man.
Oh, shut up, John. Stupid.
I get the name for you.
All right.
We'll come back with that.
Yeah. Publicist is a Latin word that means incredibly full of S. S, the S word that I can't say. Incredibly full of BS. Yeah, that's a good-looking honey. Let me tell you. That one I could give a good ride to. Let me just give her some of my
Who could you give a
love.
bad ride to?
Ugly chick.
You'd be surprised. I've given a lot of bad rides. There's been a couple of bumpy roads.
You never look at a beautiful woman. I don't think I'd give her a good ride.
No. Her I could really get into, like take my time and really do some
Which
things
is a little thing, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You were Mr. Zamuda.
I'll be quiet.
It's a rimba.
Well, get out of here, John. You're the worst on the air I've ever seen. Hey, you're a retard. I'm going to talk to you off the air.
Now what I do?
And Vic is now going to go out on 5 interviews because of how you screw up.
What did he do?
He gets a crew cut, right?
Uh-huh.
We've told the guy 20 times, if you go and get a crew cut, make sure Ganji goes with you to videotape it so we can use it on the E show.
And he didn't do that?
So he doesn't do it. And how many times did everyone tell you to take a camera with you when you get your haircut?
I would rather just came here and surprised you.
What?
I would rather just came here and surprised you.
But who asked you to do that?
It still would have been a surprise to Howard.
How would I have seen it?
But you know what, Howard?
Why was it in the paper on Sunday? Why was it in the paper?
Howard, I really wasn't sure that I was
Excuse me, why was it in the paper on Saturday?
Because I said I was thinking about doing it. I wasn't really sure I was going to do it.
No, it said in Linda Stassi's column you were going to cut your hair.
Yeah.
So why would Linda Stassi? Why would you tell her and not tell me? Did you speak to her?
No, but okay.
How did she find out about it?
I spoke to AJ Benza.
Oh, AJ Benza.
You might as well speak to Linda then.
Why would you call him to tell him?
No, I spoke to him about Tony Tina's wedding, and then he said, and then we started rapping, and I said, I think I'm going to shave my head. Okay?
Are you thinking I'm going to shave my head?
I've been talking about shaving my head for 3 months now.
So then it's in the paper, and then what? Do I have a TV show?
And I'm doing.
Did the producer of the TV show? You don't understand the difference between seeing you with a crew cut and watching you get it cut?
Howard, can I just say one thing?
I don't care.
No. See,
John, you're useless.
All right, Howard, let me just say, I wasn't sure I was going to do it. I thought I was going to get cold feet and then wuss out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring a whole camera crew and go.
Let me ask you something.
If they would have came, I would have been pressured into doing it. I would have had to do it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
Angie doesn't pressure you at all.
If I would have called him from Long Island, told him to come all the way in, and then I go, you know what, I ain't going to do it.
So then fine.
You were still going to get some kind of a haircut. It would have been nice to see you having that anxiety.
It was a traumatic experience.
You're useless. Good job again.
Howard, half of the reason why I cut my hair.
Robin from the E channel, not Robin here, but Robin from the E channel, and Scott too. How many times did they say to you, if you go to get your hair cut, do it on camera?
Howard, to me, it's like, would you have? I mean, I really wasn't sure I was going to do it. And let me just say one thing. Half the reason why I cut this is for my interviews. I swear to God.
It's for what?
It's for my interviews. So I can wear different wigs and stuff. I promise you. That's half the reason. I did it.
Then why wouldn't you get it?
I did it for the show.
So why wouldn't you get it on camera?
Because I just, so you can see someone cut my hair?
Yeah, it's interesting. If someone tells you take a camera, or bring a friend with you with a video camera, if you're feeling pressured. Why don't you just say it? Why don't you just say, I don't give a F about Howard's show?
Howard.
All right, thank you. You're done. You're done. You're done. Get out. Out.
Who else would do this like this?
Don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing a good job.
I did do a good job. I did. Now, you know what? Now, no
Thank you. Thank you.
Be able to do interviews without any problem.
All right. Stupid. Dummy. All right, I didn't mean to take up time with that. There's enough to get to today. We have tons of things to get to. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Tony and Tina's wedding. How he got a part in Tony and Tina's wedding, I don't know. I think that's because he could announce it on the radio.
Yeah.
That play must be in big trouble. That play must be... They must sell 2 tickets a night if they're getting him. The world's worst stutterer. To be in a play. Imagine people going to sit there, pay money.
Aren't you going to go see it, though?
I guess so.
You can get through it.
But it makes a mockery of the play and all the actors
who
work
take
hard.
years and years to study, yes.
The writers must be thrilled.
Yeah. They got a play here in New York. It's called Tony and Tina's Wedding. Now, I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it recreates an Italian wedding. So much so that the audience
is a part of the wedding party.
Yeah. In other words, you sit there in the audience and you... Oh, look who's back. Hey, what is it?
First of all, the play's been sold out for months.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
That's why they need you.
No, it is sold out. I promise you, even before they had me.
Hey, let me tell you something. They must be pretty hard up if they got you.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Because you stutter.
There's no other actors available?
So what, I stutter? What's the matter with that?
Let me hear you act. Go ahead, do a scene.
No. You do
Let me hear you scene.
You do a scene.
I don't have it. I'm not in it.
No, I'll give you. You just got to toast somebody.
I should do a scene in Tony and Tina's wedding?
Because you think it's easy to sit here in front of you and Miss Critic over there and
I don't even care. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, because you're not being rational.
I'm being irrational?
No, I'm supposed to. I don't think there'd be an actor in the world that would sit here and do a scene.
Sure they would.
And do it good?
Of course.
All right.
A monologue. What do you think a Shakespearean monologue is?
Let me just see you do one.
I don't have a play.
Just do one from your movie.
I don't have a movie. What are you talking about? I don't even have a line yet. I don't have a script yet. How dare you?
Every day
I act.
Rehearsing this already.
Every day I read commercials. I do all kinds of things.
It took me years to even play my guitar here in this.
Oh, who cares about you? All I ask you to do is cut your hair in front of the camera.
You won't act.
Dante's Inferno in here.
He cut his hair for the play. That's what he did. And he says it was for the show.
Of course. No.
Yeah,
the play wanted me to keep it long.
All right.
The play asked me to keep it long. I'm
Thank you.
supposed to be a drug addict. The play wanted me to keep it long. It was even a problem when I asked them if I should cut my hair. They're like, no, please don't.
All right. Thank you.
So
who cares? Get out of here. Who
cares
did
they fire you?
About your stupid show?
How does this happen?
What happened? What happened?
What do I do to you that annoys you so
You don't do anything to me.
But
that's the problem.
No, but
I asked you for 2 weeks.
Why is there hostility?
I had 12 people come up to you and say, if you're going to cut your hair, let's get it on camera. I don't know. There might have been something there. That's all. Think. That's what I ask you to do.
Why, after all those solicitations, would he just go off and do it without...
Because
he is cuckoo.
I see.
Hey, maybe I am cuckoo.
Okay, man.
It was, if you were cutting your hair, wouldn't you be a little... I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm not going to do it.
I bet you'd have a camera there.
Oh, yeah? I didn't see a camera with your freaking weaves being put on. And
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
But he
cared?
had a camera there.
I asked you to have a camera. I didn't ask her to have a camera. I asked you.
But why is it different?
Why are you throwing it to Robin?
Because why is there a double? I mean,
Because I asked you. I was curious. I'm trying to build something out of you. You know all you do is stutter?
No, I don't.
That's all you are.
Ah,
so I'm trying to build something out of you. It would have been interesting to watch you get all that hair cut off. Oh, please. I want to go on with my show. Get out of the room.
No, but you started talking
Get out of here. Get out of here. They must be desperate.
No, they're not desperate.
Haircut makes you look like a mental patient.
Well, it makes him look like what he is.
Exactly. Now you look like what you are, mental patient. Guy cut off all his hair, and he doesn't bring a camera. We tell him 20 times.
He got a mental patient haircut. I mean, it looks like somebody in a facility cut it because of all the... It
would have been funny to watch. I could have made something out of that.
Now you go to get your haircut, and you pointed a picture on the wall of the haircut you want. Imagine he saw a picture of this and said, yeah, that's for me.
That's my haircut.
That's what I wanted.
All right, good. Goodbye. I'm done with you.
Yeah,
Get out. Get out. Out. Out of my studio, my sacred studio.
Look at him. He doesn't do anything you say.
No,
you see
he's stupid. Well, that's okay. Vic, if you don't get out, Vic is the new guy. Right. Get out. Tina. Tina the Tard. Tina. They got a play here in New York. Tony and Tina's wedding.
Tardo and Tina.
Yeah, and it's a recreate. I'll tell you why I wouldn't go see it. When I go to a play, I don't want to be... It's just like I went to see Penn and Teller. He starts talking to me in the middle of the play. Starts asking people questions during the middle of the play. I told him, don't you call on me. I'm not going up there. I don't want to participate. I want to be entertained.
You're going out for a night of entertainment.
Yeah, I will not go to any play where I have to participate. The audience becomes part of the play at this Tony and Tina's wedding. I don't want to do that. That's laziness on the part of the playwright. That he has to rely on me for lines. I wouldn't go see that with an imbecile like that in there. All right, let's take a break. What? All right, let's take a break, and then we'll come back, and then I'm
sitting here thinking about the nervous breakdown he's having out in the hall.
He's out of his mind.
No, I asked the guy 100 times, if you're going to get a haircut, he says, okay. 100 times. How many times can you ask a guy?
Well, that surprises me. That really shocks me that he did that even after being asked.
Hey, you know who's stupider than Stuttering John?
Who?
Jay Leno. This guy is...
Did he call you again?
Oh, I didn't even tell you anything.
Oh,
no, now you got to hear this.
Oh, boy.
All right, let me take a break and I'll tell you.
Yeah, because that's going to take a little
That's going to take some time.
Daily installment.
Oh, please. Let me tell you the latest, what's going on with him. There's something. I'm telling you that he should be committed to a mental institution.
You really think he needs medication?
I think he's a sick man.
You should get John's cut.
Maybe you should be calling someone for protection.
Yeah, I'm going to call the police. I'm being stalked. I'm telling you that Jay Leno is a psycho.
Can you get a restraining order?
There's something wrong with this guy. He should be ashamed of himself. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. Come on, Fred. What are you sleeping? He's sleeping during the show.
Now return to the Howard Stern Show.
Wait a second. Stop for a second. What happened right there? I take a break, and then what do you do?
He takes a break, too.
Something else was going to happen.
What, Fred?
What could have possibly happened?
I saw something fly over the wall there.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
And thank you, Jackie. Congratulations on your Wild Comedy CD and cassette. $10 plus free shipping and handling. Holiday special. Buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. This Saturday night, it's Jackie, November 12th, for a big show at the world-famous Club Benet in Sayreville, New Jersey. For dirty jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. Thank you. All right.
Just delivery alone is funny.
I'll tell you the Jay Leno story. Then we also have to talk about what's going to go on in Philadelphia with the zookeeper. Trying to return to radio, coming to us to ask for permission. There's a whole big thing, whether we should go to Philly on Friday, whether we should have the zookeeper here. I've got to discuss everything with you.
Okay.
William Shatner.
I don't know how it came up that we weren't going to Philly. I thought we had made a decision, but we'll find out.
Well, let's find out. We have made a decision, but we could always change it. William Shatner is...
What time's he coming in?
He's coming in at 8 o'clock.
That'll be interesting to meet him live and in person, don't you think?
Yeah, he wrote a book, but I think he got really pissed off when Sulu was on our show and badmouthed him.
Yes, is that right?
So that's why he's coming here, to defend himself.
I wanted
like
to
a
ask
man.
you a question.
Yeah.
wig do you think he'll wear today?
Oh, for goodness sake. How dare you, Robert.
Will he wear his T.J. Hooker?
No, he's going to wear a squirrel on his head. Listen.
Or will it be the Star Trek?
Believe me, I guarantee you, if he went hairless, he would look fantastic.
You think so?
I would love to ask him to take the damn thing off and just stand there. I'm telling you, he would look dynamic. He would be like Sean Connery.
It's funny because I was watching previews of the Generations movie.
Yes.
And there's Picard with his bald pate, and he looks very attractive, very distinguished.
Yeah.
And then there's William Shatner, who's supposed to be the older guy who's got younger hair.
William Shatner is coming in because everyone on the Star Trek series is writing books and saying they hate William Shatner.
There's a mutiny. Captain Kirk is under attack from his own crew.
Yeah.
There are always rumors that he and Leonard Nimoy had a problem with each other.
They did. He writes about it in his book.
Is that right?
Well, what happened was, in the beginning, Leonard Nimoy and Captain Kirk even had a thing built into the contracts in the movies that they had to get equal pay.
Ah.
They stuck by each other. Like a favored nations clause.
Yes.
And I don't know, at some point, Shatner started making some money, and things started getting really stupid because Leonard Nimoy would not do Star Trek 2 until he felt the proper storyline was being developed, and it was getting to be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it was getting to the point where Leonard Nimoy was always calling Shatner over little things in the scripts, and finally Shatner said, you know what, who needs you?
He just wanted to go in there and do the day's work.
Right.
Leonard Nimoy's fighting over words in the script?
I think so. That's what we have to ask him about.
Huh. Because I know he directed
either,
a couple of those.
Exactly. Either everyone on everyone on Star Trek was a pain in the ass.
It sounds like it.
Or William Shatner was a pain in the ass, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Sounds like a real mess.
I think Uhura should have been locked in a hospital. What do you think of that? But anyway, I'm looking forward to
we'll
meeting
get
him.
another side of the story today. We'll get William Shatner's story.
Quickly, before I even tell you the Jay Leno story, on our phone is, you got to hear this, Elephant Boy.
What's he doing on the phone?
Hey, Howard.
Oh, you sound depressed.
Elephant Boy is out in California. He took a job. Let me explain this to you. He took a job.
What's this all about?
Let me explain it to you. He took a job. You know, Elephant Boy is getting popular from the TV show, from the radio show, and he is asked to do promotional things for money, to get paid.
Right.
He got asked to, this is crazy, go out to California and jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm afraid I thought you meant he was moving to California.
No.
This is just one of those little gigs he gets.
Right.
Okay.
So they evidently are paying him like $3,000 to jump out of this plane.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all excited. $3,000 is more than he makes all year from that stupid postal job of his or whatever he does.
It's like
I don't even know what he does.
For him.
And evidently, I don't know what's going on out there. Did you jump yet?
Yes, I did.
You took a practice jump?
Yeah, no, I did just take a picture. I jumped out of a plane at 12,500 feet.
All right, now let me get this straight. Hold on. Did you poop your pants quicker than a marathon runner?
No. I was successful.
Let me ask you this. Did you do the...
Nobody knows what he did.
All right, did you do the promotion yet, or you did a practice jump?
I did the promotion.
Oh, you did it already. It's all done with.
Yeah, it's done with.
Did you get paid?
Yeah, I got paid.
And you got paid to $3,000?
Yes.
Why didn't you call me before you jumped?
I tried to call you yesterday, but I forgot you're on 3 hours early in Los Angeles. So when I called you, you was just off the air.
You forgot that you were in California and there was a 3-hour difference?
Yes.
What's the matter with you?
I am a freak idiot.
He is an idiot.
Yeah.
He really is. I said to him, call me before you jump.
Yeah.
So he called us, but he forgot that it was 3 hours later in Los Angeles.
Yeah, when I saw how it...
So you jumped 12,500 feet?
Yeah, with a big pressure room, and you will see me funding her in the air.
All right, so you jumped out of a plane with a big-breasted woman, and you fondled her midair.
Correct.
And how was that?
Were you strapped together?
Where I did have like a tandem master attached to me, and he was controlling my flight down.
What did he say? Now you lost me, pal.
He was attached to somebody.
Right.
Yeah. And he was controlling my descent.
So, in other words, he had an expert falling with him who got him over to the girl, because I didn't see how Elephant Boy plummeting from a plane
so Elephant Boy,
was able to get over to a
you
girl.
didn't jump on your own. You held on to some guy.
Oh, you need...
So you fondled a guy. You didn't fondle a woman. All right, very good. All right, very good. All right.
I go to for people who want to see live footage of the jump. I will be appearing at Ansel Nightclub in Long Beach, California. Ansel Nightclub.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
You want to spell that?
Yeah.
I understand you're saying. Let me tell you what I think you're saying.
Yeah.
I think you're saying that there is now a video of you jumping.
Yes.
Okay. They videotaped it.
I understood live footage.
Yeah.
No, you did?
You're very good,
I didn't hear live footage, but I heard videotape.
Yeah.
And you were going to show it in a nightclub.
Yeah.
I know. When will that be?
He's going to be in correspond like a big bus contest.
All right, so there'll be a big breast contest?
Yeah. At Angel Nightclub.
Angel Nightclub?
Yeah. In Long Beach, California.
That was Angel that was?
Yeah.
I thought it was Enzo.
Isn't it funny how I understand certain things and you don't, and then you understand certain things and I don't?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You didn't say when.
And don't you feel really proud of yourself when you can understand what he says?
Yes, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes.
Now, is that tonight?
No, tomorrow night, November 9th.
Tomorrow night. And will you leap off the stage with a parachute?
One of our old friends will be there from your trip to Albany. Colt 45 will be there.
Colt 45 will be there. That's a stripper?
Yeah.
Colt 45.
Yes.
All right. Very good, Elephant Boy.
Okay. Well, from now on, Harry, you can call me E.B. I got the Harry fever. E.B. now.
Right.
E.B. for Elephant Boy. You can use my initials.
Well, all I know is I think this jump shook him up.
Yeah, he must have landed on his head.
I think he's still scared.
Well, when we get ready, we're going to ship you the video, and you will grab in your pants after you see it.
All right, very good, Elephant Boy.
Okay.
Looking forward to your return.
Okay, thank you, Howard. Have a good day.
Yes, you too.
Okay, bye.
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 Atapat.
Atabai.
Atapat.
Oh, please. What's the matter with him? He jumped out of a plane.
I would have loved to have been up there just to see what it was like just before he was ready to leap.
Listen, you don't want to know why he does it. He's got nothing to live for anyway. If he died and got splattered all over the street, you think
what would be the loss?
He'd probably be happier.
12,000 feet?
Wow. I thought I could fly. All right, let me tell you about Jay Leno real quick. So,
all right,
just to recap.
I'm going to forget about Elephant Boy.
Jay Leno was coming to New York in November. And
you know what? This is interesting that Fred should play this.
Why?
Because the Tonight Show has obviously changed.
Yeah.
But none of that music Branford has played
has made an impact. This is still the theme for the Tonight
Show. And he's complaining about them.
Right. His lack of ability to make a good theme, and he's complaining. All right. Anyway. I hate this song. It's distracting me.
As bad as it was, it became very recognizable.
Right. Anyway, so what can I say other than originally Jay Leno called me 2 months ago because he was coming to New York in November to do a show. Okay. Fair enough. They called my agent the way they normally do. They said, would Howard do it? And my agent said, hold on, let me think about it. 2 or 3 days later, he called back and said, no, he will not be available in November to do it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, they kept calling. With that, on top of that.
And he kept saying no.
Right. Letterman calls.
Okay.
Evidently, there's a mole at the Tonight Show who tells Letterman when they're booking somebody because Letterman picks up the phone and calls me himself and asks me to do the same exact date, the same exact day, the same exact year and week.
Do you think it's a mole at Jay Leno?
Yes.
Or is it a mole somewhere else?
No. There is a mole at Jay Leno's booking department.
Because it sounds like there were a lot of calls made before you heard from Letterman.
Not really. I'm probably telling it wrong.
All right.
It was almost like when Jay first started calling me, the Tonight Show rather started calling me. Letterman picked up the phone and said,
all right.
First Morty called. It didn't go exactly in this order, but Morty called my agent and said, hey, how about this date? And then Letterman picked up the phone and called me because he got nervous that I was going to do the Tonight Show.
So
you would think, I'm the only guest the Tonight Show and David Letterman had, the way they're carrying on.
But boy, oh boy, when one wants you, the other one wants you bad, too.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to be a late-night talk show host. I'll tell you why. If you are that dependent that you have to start picking up the phone and calling the guests yourself, it's a sad day.
Well, at least Letterman made one call.
Right. So anyway, Letterman called me himself, and he says, will you be on my show? And I said, probably not this time around. The Tonight Show called me for the same exact date, and I told them no. Dave, I've done your show 2 times in a row now, and I'm really sitting this November thing out because I don't really have anything I want to do right now. I don't have anything I really want to say on TV, and I don't want to do it.
And he was perfectly fine with that.
He said, would you think about it? I said, I'll think about it, and if I want to do it, I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I said, and I said also, the problem is, too, that I'm working on a movie and I'm really involved in it, and it'd be very difficult. And he said to me, I know you don't need to do it. I'm asking you as a favor. I said, well, if I can do it, I'll get back to you. And he's never called me since.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of it. With that, about a week and a half ago, Jay Leno called me at home.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to New York. Once you do the show. I said, Jay, thanks. It sounds great. I don't think I can do it this time around, but, oh, no, you can't say. Okay. That was a week and a half ago. He called me 2 days in a row after that call. And after I kind of said, look, it's, then I pawned it off of my agent and all that kind of stuff. I said it's up to him because I couldn't get rid of him. He called my agent, and my agent point blank said, I don't want Howard doing it. No. Mm-hmm. That's it. In fact, another agent walked in the room while Don was talking. And the agent said, are you talking to Jay Leno like that? He says, this guy don't understand. I said, no.
He won't take no for an answer.
He won't take no for an answer. Okay. With that, Don called me, my agent, and said, don't worry about anything. I straightened out with Jay Leno. He gets it. I said, and
usually when Don straightens somebody out,
yes. It's very clear. Don is, you can say what you want about Don, but Don's very clear.
Yeah.
Very clear. Yes or no. He said no. With that, while I'm talking to Don, Jay calls. I said, Don, it's Jay again. Because don't worry, you can pick up the phone. In fact, I had suggested to him that maybe he come on your show. He's probably trying to book himself on your show at this point. I said, I think you're nuts. I said, I think Jay didn't hear a word you said. Sure enough, I pick up the phone, and Jay goes into a 45-minute rap how I should do the show. And I basically said again, I don't think I can do it. I'll always talk to Don about it, but the both of us agree that it's not the right time for me to go on. I know what it is. You want to go on, but Dave is giving you a lot of pressure. Letterman's all over you, right? I said, no. He goes, I'm not like that at all. You went on Dave 2 times the last time. And I don't care how many times you go on Dave. I understand he's in New York and I'm in California, but I'm coming to New York and I want to get there. And I said, Jay, listen to me. I really don't have anything I want to say this time. Sure you have stuff you want to say. You're just talking about Branford. You're talking about a lot of different things. Come on. I know all these guys. So if Seinfeld tells me he doesn't have material, I understand. He does stand up, but you got a lot of things. I said, listen. So I don't really think. Okay. So we went through this dance 20 times. Saturday, he called again. My house on Saturday on the weekend.
That's a holy day.
That's a holy day at my house. I never pick up my own phone. I picked it up because I thought it was Dopey Ralph who was supposed to call me. I pick up 40 minutes. Jay works on me, and I said, Jay, I really don't think this time around. He goes, do me a favor. Would you talk it over with Don? And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk it over with Don, but I'm pretty sure the answer is no. He goes, can I take that as a yes? Is there an opening here? Is my foot in the door? I said, Jay, I said, I'm getting embarrassed. I love you. I love doing your show. I enjoy it. This is not a put down. I just can't do it this time around. Well, so I'm saying that you're probably going to do it. Like ignoring what I said. I think this guy's mental.
I think he gets the impression that the longer you stay on the phone, the more likely you are to do it.
I mean, it's obvious. Even if I'm not good at saying no. Even if I'm not good at saying no. And respect the fact that I am saying no.
People don't do that,
right.
Howard.
At this point, the guy is being obnoxious. He's badgering, as you just said.
But don't you remember back to the days when you were trying to get a girl to sleep with you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you go past obnoxious if you thought you could get the prize?
Robin, this is going way past what I would have done. I never. This is sexual harassment. I never would do that. This is rape. I think the smell of all that motor oil is making him lightheaded. This guy's a nut. I mean, he is a certifiable nut. So listen to this.
So you left it
Saturday,
with him calling you again.
I said to him on Saturday, look, man, I'll talk to Don over the weekend, which I didn't even bother. I mean, I know what Don's answer is. I'll talk to Don over the weekend. He says, I got to have my answer by Monday. Monday night is our booking deadline.
All right.
I said, okay. I said, I will talk to you on Monday, but, you know, I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be no. Please forgive me. Well, no. It sounds like you want to do it really bad, but Don doesn't want you. You talk to Don. It's got to work out. Now, you see. So, wait a second. Listen to this. You got to hear this. So, the phone rings yesterday. I walk in the door, just as I'm walking in the door.
He knows your schedule.
I instructed, I think there's a mole in my house. I instructed Laura, my assistant, that under any circumstances, if Jay calls, you tell him I'm not home. Jay calls. Laura says he's not home. Where is he? This is what she says to him. She goes, well, he's in a meeting. Where is this meeting? She says, I don't know exactly where. He's supposed to call me. When he calls you, would you get the number so I can call him at the meeting? So, Laura, this guy's nuts.
He thinks that he should be able to interrupt any meeting. Who is he, Bill Clinton?
Yeah, I don't know. What is so important? I don't want to do the damn show. So, Laura says, look, I'll call back in an hour. If you speak to Howard, I tell him I have to speak to him. Laura comes running into me. She says, what am I supposed to say? I said, do me a favor. Next time Jay calls, tell him that I called you and said, if Jay calls, tell him, no, I can't do the show.
Because you can't do it yourself.
Laura gets the call from Jay. Sure enough, like a half hour later, this guy's insane. I'm telling you, this guy's insane. He says, well, where's Howard? She goes, well, I can't get in touch with him. He's in his car. Does he have a car phone? She goes, yes. What's the number? She goes, well, I'm not authorized to give out the number. Oh, come on, give it to me. So he says, is there a message? Or, you know, I got to talk to him. So he said he was going to talk to me. So Laura says to him, listen, Jay, Howard told me to tell you that he can't do the show. No, this is unacceptable, he says to her. This is unacceptable. Howard said he would speak to me himself, and I'm not accepting that answer unless I hear from Howard himself. You tell him to call me. Here's my number. I'm not calling him. So Laura comes running, and she's all shook up, because it's Jay Leno, you know, somebody she sees on TV. You get shook up when someone starts yelling.
Well, yeah, you can't say no to him.
But she comes in, and she says, he is desperate. I said, I know. It's pathetic. I said, the next time he calls, just say, you big chin bastard, you're a psycho. With that, he calls again.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm not home. And he flips his lid. You tell Howard he has to tell me to my face no. And I've already told him 100 times.
No, you said, I don't think so.
No, I've said no on some occasions. I've said I don't think so.
Don doesn't want me to.
Yeah, I mean, how many times can I listen, at some point, like Letterman, he got it the word once. He understood.
Why don't you...
What?
Why don't you get the E-camera to come in here, and why don't you, like, videotape? Listen, Jay, it's very uncomfortable talking to you on the phone. This is me saying I can't do it.
Right.
And just send him the tape.
Right. I'll do that. But I'm on the radio saying no.
Sit there and say, Jay, no.
Tell him you call his office and say that I will speak to him on the air so that the world can hear me say no. I want a witness. You're my witness. Who's on the phone?
George Pataki.
Oh, great.
No. He's practicing.
But where is George? Hey, George, I tell this guy Leno no, and he don't understand it.
Well, I understand it, Howard.
You know, and it's hard to convince people that...
Chris has a piano. It's an upright that he's traveled with for years. Like, look at the keys on this thing.
Wow, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's just like it's his.
Almost like they painted.
You know, it's electric. It's electronic. It's not.
But it's like it's his piano. He digs it, and like I don't need a Steinway. I just is sort of cool.
That's very cool. I love the look of it. It's so shit. I wish I could photograph that. That's so fucking cool.
I want to write Bubba Hootie. You can do anything you want.
I love it.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Come on already. We got a big day for you today. It's Wednesday, and we have, among other things, Chris Martin of Coldplay coming in, and I see his piano over there, and it's a very cool piano. We said to Chris, do you want a Steinway, similar to what we did with Billy Joel? And
or Lady Gaga.
Or Lady Gaga, which is a lot of fun. So he said, no, there's a piano I use. It's my piano that that travels with me. And it is the complete opposite of a Steinway, actually. Look at that thing.
It's a stand-up.
It's a stand-up little piano, and it is... what would you call the finish on it?
It looks like graffiti.
There's graffiti all over it, spray painted, very cool looking. And I said to Gary, that's like the coolest little piano I ever saw. I wish I knew how to play piano. But that is his piano, and that's what he enjoys playing. And it's actually electric. It's an electric piano, Robin. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that. I haven't taken a complete look at it.
Well, I took a complete look at it, and I still didn't know it was an electric piano. Lest anyone think that is not electric, they're wrong. My wife was so excited. She's a big Coldplay person. And she has a girl crush on Gwyneth Paltrow.
I was going to say, I was thinking about that this morning, that she's a huge Gwyneth Paltrow fan.
I know my wife would go down on... like, my wife is not into girls at all, and I know that, unless she wakes up from a stroke and suddenly is.
Unless she has a stroke.
I feel like she would go down on Gwyneth Paltrow in a minute.
I don't think so.
I think she would.
I think
she's that hot for
like
her.
to be her best friend.
Yeah, that too. She'll admit it. She has, ever since I've known her, she's like obsessed with...
Yeah, I know. She always checks the website.
Yeah.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow all the time.
Every picture she's in, she's beautiful. She just thinks... Do you have that feeling about it?
No, I don't like Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, I shouldn't say this.
Well, listen, what does he care? It's not an attack on him.
And it's not, I don't know her as a person. I just don't find her interesting in movies or anything.
My wife would cut your tits off.
I have never seen that Shakespeare in Love. Can't watch it.
You'll tell me you didn't love Shallow Hal.
She was in a suit. That's why.
I loved it.
Jack Black was there.
Well, anyway, my wife adores her and loves Coldplay. Even went out and got the new album. That's, she's way into the whole thing.
Wow.
But anyway, Chris Martin is coming in. We have his piano here. And we'll talk, we'll sit and bullshit and play some music.
He's British or something, isn't he?
Sure. Absolutely he's British. What are you talking about over there? And
how do you get America's sweetheart?
Yeah. He even says, he goes, I've read interviews of Chris Martin here and there. And he even says, God, when I was growing up, I was such a geek. The idea that Gwyneth Paltrow would look at me, let alone marry me, he goes, I want to pinch myself. He goes, this is crazy. Which I find refreshing.
All right, we're going to bring Chris Martin in, Coldplay, and he's going to sing, man.
Sounds good, man.
We're going to do it.
We're going to really do this.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Good morning. Hey, Ronnie. How are you?
Morning, Chris.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm nervous.
You are?
Yes,
You're making your debut today.
I know.
Right this
My one and only ever appearance.
You're thinking this is a one and done?
I think it's a once in a lifetime. Where am I going?
You going in this room, whichever you
I was going to say hello to my friend.
You got it.
You're up. It's the people that make it all happen.
So, Chris, what are these nerves about?
Just being interviewed by someone much more handsome than me. It makes me terrified. I've got to go this way.
All right, good luck today, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Hey, guy.
Hi, Howard. How are you doing?
How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you
Nice to meet you.
Let you do your setup here.
Thank you.
I'll be right with you.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing?
Hi there.
Hi, I'm Scott. Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Pleasure. You want to? Okay. So the show, you heard the show in there too. You want to kill the show? Yeah. Yeah. This is the usual in the studio. Yeah. Did you kill the show? I didn't kill it completely. You can kill it for now until he...
Does Howard come through here as well?
He will, yeah. We'll kill it for now and then... Do you want it completely off for now?
No.
Okay. You want a sound check? You want to play something and sing so we can...
Sounds good to me.
That's easy.
This time in the morning is only a certain level of...
I hear you.
Quality. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'm honored. I'm actually very, very honored. Of course, everyone knows Chris Martin is the, I guess, lead singer, writer of Coldplay, and he is here with us right now. And
he's right here.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Robin wants you so badly.
Oh, here we go.
I felt that in the corridor.
We had a moment.
We had a little...
Is this difficult for you being up this early?
No, sir.
Most working musicians are night people. You almost have to be. You perform at night. Most of your career is at night.
That's true.
And so when I heard you were coming on, I said, "Oh, he's going to be exhausted. He's going to tell us his
well,
voice
most
hurts."
rock stars complain to us.
That's right.
No, I just treat this as a very late night.
You know what's funny with you? You are a very handsome man, a tall man.
Thank you.
You are.
Likewise.
No, you're a very handsome guy. I know handsome people because I envy them. And I look at them and go, why don't I look like that?
I think you're being a bit unfair on yourself.
No, but before you became a rock star, you don't describe yourself as a ladies' man. You describe yourself as quite the opposite.
Right.
And I think
a man's man.
You're a man's man.
Yeah.
But I think most people would be surprised by that, right?
I don't know. I can't comment.
And you seem to have your head screwed on straight in the sense that you never went through the phase of womanizing.
Right.
My theory is that womanizers really hate women.
I tried, but I was too young and nobody was interested.
You mean you got your...
I was a terrible womanizer when I was 15, but no women were interested.
Don't you think womanizers essentially hate women? Don't you believe that inside? Seriously.
To be honest, I haven't really sat down and thought about it that deeply.
You are a deep guy. You write songs. I would think that you are very deep.
But I don't sit down and think, let me think about those real famous womanizers and write some songs about it.
Do you like being a rock star?
Yes, sir. It's my dream come true.
It is a dream come true.
Yeah.
At what age did you know I need to be a rock star?
11.
Did you dream about being a songwriter, a great songwriter?
Yeah.
Was that the dream?
Yes, sir.
That was the dream at 11 years old.
Yeah.
So at 11, what are you doing? Are you already playing piano, or?
I mean, you don't even have pubes at 11.
I don't have pubes. Nothing. I'm just singing very high.
You admit you had
and no one's listening.
You admit you had no pubes.
I admit that up to the age of 18.
Is that true?
Yes, sir. No, not quite. I'm exaggerating for radio, but it wasn't far off.
Did puberty come late to you?
It came, towards the end of the day.
It came late to you.
It came a little too late. It seemed late at the time.
Did you sit and wonder why don't all the other boys have pubes and I don't?
Again, I didn't. I think maybe I've blocked that out of my memory.
Did you ever write a song longing for pubes?
About pubes.
Apart from the song "I Long for Pubes," I can't think of one.
No, but seriously, when you're 11 years old,
yes,
you know. It's like...
yeah, but what do you see? What is inspiring you to have that thought?
I think seeing Michael Jackson and the same stuff that kids see now when they see Beyonce or Lady Gaga, you just think, wow.
What a great life. And did your parents take you aside and listen? And they say, listen, schmuck, I don't know who you think you are.
My dad smacked the shit out of me.
Was your father abusive to you?
No, I'm joking. He was encouraging, actually. Because he was made to stay in rural England and do his dad's old job, if you see what I mean. So he was kind of... You should leave here and go and do what you want to do. So that was great.
They didn't say anything to you like, who do you think you are to be a singer or songwriter? That's irresponsible. We want you to go to college. We want you to give up this idea of being a singer-songwriter. They didn't say that to you.
My dad, he said it probably is, he said it's unlikely to happen, but you should have a go.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazingly supportive.
Well, yeah, and he said, don't drop out of school, whatever, but he never said you can't do that.
Did he get you piano lessons?
No, but we had a piano and... So, yeah, yes and no is the answer.
Are you a genius in that you taught yourself piano, that you didn't need to have anyone instruct you? You are not a genius.
No, quite the opposite.
You don't consider yourself a genius. You've sold millions of albums, you've written hit songs, but you're not a musical genius.
I had a moment of thinking we were good because we were very popular, and then someone told me that the Nazis were popular for a while. So my self-esteem went right back down again.
Is being a successful rock star hard work?
No.
That's a lie in a sense. You're being humble because
I'm not being humble because you've got to put it in perspective.
Isn't there years of playing clubs? Isn't there years of honing the craft, perfecting the industry, learning how to play in front of a live audience and turning them on? Isn't there sort of a process?
Craft, do what you do.
Well, you've made records, right? You know how it is.
Yeah, absolutely, I've made records. All of them bad.
All of them bad or all in bed?
That's
what
right.
do you say?
All of them bad.
Right.
No, but in all seriousness, it is a difficult road. You never know if you're going to make it. You don't know if your songs are going to resonate with a lot of people, correct?
That's true.
Yeah. So taking on this career, you have to be a bit of a madman.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have anything to fall back on. Did you go to college?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, you did? And what did you study?
Ancient history.
And what was the idea that I will be a history teacher if
yeah,
this
what can
doesn't
you
work?
do with that degree?
That's even worse than planning to be a rock star. You know
You can be just very interesting at McDonald's while you give someone their burger.
So you went to college, you did that, and
yeah,
and the
but we were in a band at college. That was really, we were in London, and the excuse for being there was being at college, but we were just doing music all day.
Are you being humble when you say there were really no women who, like when a guy's in a band, even if it's not a super successful band right away, and you're in college, don't women just flock to that?
Yeah, you usually get groupies if you can play and sing.
The honest answer is, I think it's all about confidence. And being British and not famous yet, that doesn't give you so much confidence.
You had no confidence?
Well, in Britain, we're kind of brought up not to have too much confidence because I don't know why, but it's just the way it is.
How old were you when you wrote your first song?
11.
And what was that song?
It was called Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ah, excellent.
It turned out it was by someone else. So I had to go back to the drawing board. No, it was a terrible song about, I can't remember what.
You don't know what the first song
it was about? It was actually about people being more obsessed with Princess Sarah Ferguson's tits than what was really happening in the world. It was quite a media-savvy song.
Is that true? At 11 years old, you came up with the concept that it seemed to you that the people of England were more obsessed with something dumb like this woman's tits than something important going on.
Yeah, because I think I was very socially motivated at that age.
Do you remember how to play that song? Do you remember how to sing that song?
It was very like, just like that.
That's the song? That's pretty good.
It's terrible.
It sounds like a hit to me. Give me the rights to that song.
Okay.
I
what
can
are
make
the
that
words? He'll sing it.
The words, I can't remember. It was like...
something with tits, right?
Definitely they popped up.
Was the word tit in the song, the first song?
I think it was in the chorus about 18 times.
Is that true?
No.
So you kept it clean. I
kept it clean. I had to, the people where I was from, you couldn't swear or cuss.
Is it hard for you to write lyrics to a song?
It's hard to write good lyrics.
The music comes easily to you?
Everything comes easily, just not necessarily of a high quality. So I have to filter out the good from the bad.
In other words, you've got songs in your head all the time. Like I've interviewed, when I interviewed Joe Walsh, he used to say he constantly has like a radio station playing in his head. That sounds familiar to you.
Yes.
That sounds like something happening in your life.
Yes, that's true.
You woke up this morning. Did you hear a song in your head?
I did actually.
What did you hear in your head? Can you play it for me? What is currently in your head?
I didn't get it out of my head yet into my fingers.
Is that true?
It takes a while to get it from the top to the tips. If you see what I mean.
Hum what's in your head right now.
Like
Is that really what's in your head?
No, that just
because that's a terrible song. I don't want to.
Well, that's why I didn't want to. I didn't.
If I had been your father, I said, if that's in your head, you're going to go study
back to college.
That's right. That's right.
So yes, I think with songwriting, it's kind of a tap that you have switched on all the time, and you just keep receiving it as long as it gets sent to you, and you just have to pick out the ones that are good.
Have you ever had a situation where there's a song in your head and you say, "Oh my God, this is terrific," and then you don't have anything to record it with or put it down, and then it's lost? And you go, "I know this was a great song. If it only..."
Yeah.
That's happened to you.
Yeah.
Is that torture in your life?
No, because I feel like it can't have been that great if I don't remember it.
So you let go of it. You say, you know what, the great ones I'll remember.
Yeah, so I think it was... I read a John Lennon interview one time when he was talking about that, because they didn't have, like, iPhones and voice memos and all that stuff.
No.
So he said, if you have a really great song, you'll remember it. And
so what's the process then? Like, let's say you're in the shower and you hear a great song in your head. Do you run out of the shower?
I get the piano into the shower.
Come on, what do you do? Where do you put it down?
What I do is normally this happens at night time.
Right.
At like 1 in the morning is generally the kind of witching hour, and everybody's asleep, and so I just go down and sit for maybe like 3 or 4 hours and just run around and around and around.
So it's like a job. You have to, like, at 1 in the morning, I'm going to go down for a couple hours and maybe write music.
Yeah, but this makes it hard to live with you, doesn't it?
Right.
It's hard anyway. But
where do you write these songs down, on Gwyneth's body or something?
Yeah,
I mean, you've got to do something.
Her butt is covered with lyric ideas.
How sensuous. Oh, but so you get this song in your head,
yes,
and you go downstairs and you begin to what? Do you play it on the piano?
Sometimes I don't get it in my head. Sometimes I just go and like a fisherman, just sit there and like just fuck around for
on the piano.
Yeah.
And the piano's where you write. You never write it on a guitar.
Can you say that on here?
No, don't. You'll get in big trouble.
Oh, stop.
So only I can say fuck. And do not say shit.
Okay.
Anyway, so do you ever grab the guitar? It's always the piano that you sit down and you start to play.
Either one or the other.
Right. And does the family get very upset with you because they're like trying to sleep and you're banging away on a piano?
No, we have a studio right down the street, like 10 meters away. So
you have a studio in your house?
No, not in the house. Like 8 doors down the street.
And that's your place. You go there.
Yes.
And so, would you say you're work obsessed? That this goes on every night?
I'd say, yeah.
I don't understand the financial arrangement between you and Coldplay. You write the songs. I start the songs. You write all of the music, and yet...
No, I start the songs.
What does that mean?
Well, it's like you on this show, right? You have Fred and Robin, and I forgot your names. I'm sorry, but
everyone's forgotten his name. When he fucks up your piano, you're going to forget his name too.
It's okay to forget his name.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But,
everyone forgets his name. It's Scott.
Scott.
Right. What separates a solo artist from someone like me is that, you know, they do everything from conception to birth, as it were, like every part of the arrangement, whereas I might get 3 chords and then have a song over it, but it hasn't yet been arranged and fleshed out and doesn't have a guitar riff, and I don't think anything's finished right until everybody's put their part on out of the 4 of us.
So out of the 4 of you, you've made an arrangement with them when it comes to splitting the publishing and the royalty and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You split it 4 ways evenly.
We split it 20-20, 20-40.
20-20, 20-40, you get the 40.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I never told anyone that, but you asked nicely.
Yeah, well, thank you. No, but seriously, that makes sense to me because I think you're being somewhat humble.
No, it's not humble. It's about it's important to keep your chemistry and your band together.
But I don't think your drummer is up at 1 in the morning sitting and writing lyrics.
No, but he's there at 10 in the morning, ready to
pound away on those
skits. To hit it or to try it all day, same song.
So you truly appreciate that.
And if he fucks up the drum part, then the whole song's ruined. So we.
Why did you throw your drummer out of the band at one point?
He was just too good looking.
Smart.
And I was threatened by that.
Part of your job is to be good looking. You actually work out. You recently lost a lot of weight. You have to be good looking.
I didn't lose that much weight.
No, but you now work out and take care of your body because part of the job of a lead singer, Mick Jagger would be the first to say, you got to look pretty good.
Well, it came from seeing a lot of Bruce Springsteen shows 2 years ago, and he was just in such great shape. I was like, man, he looks so much better than me, and he's old enough to be my grandfather.
But that's pretty. It's a pretty good idea. If you see, I get annoyed with people who think that they can be overweight,
right,
and be rock stars. You can't. I mean,
why'd you get annoyed though, Howard?
Because they don't understand that it's show business. That yes, a certain component is you have to look the part, and there's no shame in admitting that.
So Ozzy looks apart?
Yes, Ozzy always looked apart.
Yeah, he looks apart.
He looks like he's apart from humanity. But that's part of his
thing. But that's part of the thing, yeah. That's... People would be disappointed if he didn't look like he was falling apart.
Isn't a live show visual? Isn't it?
Can I just go back to what you're saying about...
Yes.
I think that I think the only thing an audience responds to is if they think you don't care. So if you start out big or you start out tall or you start out whatever, and that's your thing, then that's great, you know. So, but it's if you let it look like you don't give a shit anymore and you just spent the whole time partying and eating and spending all your royalties.
It's a fuck you to the audience.
Yeah, but I don't agree that you have to be skinny. I just think you have to look like you care.
How old were you when you started to perform in clubs?
In clubs?
Yeah, you know, where you started
19.
to get 19, where you'd go and they, I don't know, you'd make a couple of dollars, you'd actually sit down at a piano and play. Did you start out as a solo artist or was it always with the band?
No, I was in some other bands in my high school.
Was it always a band? Did you ever go up on stage by yourself?
Yeah, a couple of times, but I don't like that.
Why, you felt lost?
Yes, right now.
Yeah. Do you feel lost? Do you feel vulnerable? Because
I feel a bit vulnerable.
I was really because.
But I like your show, so everyone else. They said it was too early.
Actually, they said, "Gee, would you want Chris in here by himself, or would you want him with the band?" And I said, "If you're giving me a preference, I'd rather talk to you one-on-one. And I like that vulnerability.
Okay.
I like that you feel somewhat naked out here.
Yes.
Because I understand that. Some people need, Simon and Garfunkel, the reason that band ever even happened, those two performed, Paul Simon was so dreadfully shy that he needed a guy up there with him.
Right.
It wasn't that Paul Simon couldn't have a solo career.
Yeah.
Do you fantasize now that you're more comfortable as a solo artist?
No.
You would never do it?
No, sir.
No leaving the band?
No way. Wait, no. No solo thing, no way.
Hasn't your wife said to you, listen, why are we splitting with these guys? You are capable of going out there on your own. Get your ass out on stage by yourself, and let's get this thing really rolling.
She says that most mornings.
Yeah, that's why you love her.
That's why I love her.
That's right. You talk about marriage. I'm thinking about this, and you're the one guy who can answer this for me.
Really?
Yes, you really are. Because you're married to a famous woman. And I know a lot of your time is spent sort of acting like, hey, we're not married. Like, in other words, you don't walk a red carpet together, you know, this kind of thing. Now, listen, I'm married. I am so excited to walk anywhere with my wife.
Right.
I don't care. I mean, I don't understand why certain people, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, act like they're not married.
Right.
Why can't you and your wife walk the red carpet together? I don't get it.
Do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
It's because it's making something public that really wasn't designed to be, you know? It happens that those are our individual jobs.
But isn't it fun to walk around with her?
No, it's not fun.
I mean, you've got this great-looking, exciting wife.
Yeah, that's incredible, but we get to do other things.
But you'll walk on a red carpet with your band, but not your wife.
That's because our band is selling something, and a red carpet is about selling things.
So in other words, this is the one thing you're going to keep private.
Well, no, it's just we don't have anything to sell. We're not a product. That's just a relationship. It just happens that she does that and I do this. And
do you
see what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, but the joy I get from sort of hanging out with my wife, even in a public situation, I feel like you say with the band, you feel protected. I almost feel protected when I have my wife with me. Like I have my best friend, and some of those public situations, I feel so much more comforted.
Right.
By having her there alongside with me, that outweighs any kind of privacy issue.
Okay, well, I get it. I get that feeling in other ways. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're obviously.
I got no good answer for you.
You're obviously way more secure than I am.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's it's a different thing. I can't really explain.
But maybe it's a star thing. Like it's the thing to say, hey, listen, we don't allow the media to have pictures of us.
Did they call a conference and all the stars decided?
A lot of stars do this.
Chris
is not, by the way, he is not the only one doing this. It seems like everyone's doing it.
Because that's what I'm saying. Did they have a meeting in Hollywood and everybody
But Bruce Springsteen walks around with his wife.
Patty, yeah.
Yeah, he'll walk around with Patty.
But she's also in the band.
She is in the band. You're right, Robin.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Get your facts straight.
Yeah, you know what? Let Robin and I debate this. You don't even need to be here.
Also, it's just what makes you feel comfortable, right? I mean, you're saying I'm famous, but you're 10 times more famous, so you...
Am I?
Yeah.
I'm 10 times more famous than you?
Yeah.
You've sold tons of... Everyone knows Coldplay, knows your music.
No, man. That's not make this a competition. but I'm just saying, it's just what makes you feel comfortable, and we don't really feel comfortable in that situation.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should try it. I think you'd be very comfortable. Two of you are charming.
Well,
why not?
You're being very sweet, Howard. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go back to this because I want to understand the trajectory of your career. So you start to perform at 11. You start to write songs. First big hit song with Coldplay is Yellow.
Yes, sir.
How old are you when you write that?
21 or 22.
22 years old. When you wrote Yellow.
22 or 3. I can't actually remember.
When you wrote Yellow, did you know it was a hit?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
How do you know? You just
had a feeling. I was like, fuck.
This is good.
Well, it's just, I think with any of our songs that have gone on to do okay, I don't really know how they came through. They just sort of, it's the old cliche that everyone says, Paul Simon, all of the songwriters say it. It's like the good ones just kind of come through you.
When you make an album, do you know that some songs sort of aren't commercially viable? You put them on there because you love them, but you can tell which ones are going to be.
Well, you know which ones aren't singles.
Right.
But then, and maybe now that's more of a concern because nobody really buys albums anymore, but... Still, we are in the business of making albums, so we need the sort of scope of that. But this song will never be like a hugely popular song, but it just fits in the whole tapestry. You know what I'm saying?
Do you hate what's happened to the music industry?
No, man. Hate is very strong.
Hate meaning wow, it's not much of a business in terms of selling records anymore. You can go out and tour. You guys got that kind of following.
But we didn't get into it for that. I think if you go back to Shakespeare's time or something, musicians and artists were just working for patrons, and maybe we're just going back that way.
You feel okay that in the old days, if you wrote a song and that was a hit, that you could sell millions and millions of records? Now everyone just bootlegs them and gets them for free.
Yeah, well, I can't do anything about it. I just love what I do, and if that's what's happening, that's what's happening.
And really, you've got that kind of relaxed attitude.
Yeah, pretty much. I think if
but
people...
they've done pretty well. I mean, you guys have sold over 4 million albums, right?
Over what now?
Over 4 million?
4 million. They've sold over...
we sold over 300.
Stop it. How many have they sold?
I'll tell you the exact number you sold.
No, let's not do this. This is nerdy.
It's not
Who
nerdy.
gives a shit?
You know what? I give a shit. I'll throw you right out of here if it's 3 million. What?
It's over 50 million.
Yeah, over 50 million. That's right.
Boy, was I off.
We're 3 million. 3 million. You know what? He'd be sitting at home with his parents and tell him to go back to college. 3 million.
Okay, so I think if people started to come into our shows, and if everybody wasn't paid at all, it would be a problem. But
how long did it take you to write a song like Yellow?
10 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, in other words, you heard it in your head.
I didn't hear it. My dad just came through. I'll tell you exactly how it happened. We were in Wales, and my microphone was broken or something. I was waiting to record something else, and I was thinking about Neil Young, and I was starting to do a Neil Young impression, just to try and make everyone giggle.
I love Neil Young.
So I was like doing this, and I was like, and it was very starry outside. I was like, look at the stars. Like trying to do, I can't do a Neil Young for shit, but that's how it came out, was trying to do that.
And
I never told anybody that.
You started to do it. You started to do your Neil Young impression.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
And then Yellow came out.
Yeah.
With the lyrics?
Yeah.
Could you play a little of that the way you did it that time that it first came out of you?
Yeah, I have to switch to a guitar. Is that cool?
Hey, if you're willing to do
it,
go ahead.
I'll go and do it.
Switch to anything you want. I'm happy with that. I didn't know you played guitar, too. It's pretty good.
Well, he says he writes on both.
I love it.
I wish I could play anything.
Well, you just got to start, man. How old are you?
Do your kids play any instruments?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wouldn't you tell them never to play the clarinet or violin, that the guitar and piano are the cool instruments to play?
I haven't said anything like that.
I will say that to them.
You would never say that to anyone.
I certainly would. I told my
I'm talking to Chris. I know
Why
what
wouldn't
you would
Chris say that? Chris,
you will never play the fucking trombone.
I mean, my parents got me a clarinet. I wanted to hang myself. Look at this face with a clarinet. I was never getting laid.
That was a face built for a clarinet.
The guitar and the piano we can make a living at. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course. All right. So
do you still play clarinet?
Making a living at violin.
I don't play clarinet. I play a little guitar and a little piano, but badly. Go ahead. So you're sitting in the studio.
You really want me to tell you this? This is not boring to you?
What? No, this is great. Go ahead.
So I'm just waiting, like sound checking like this. We had another song called Shiver, which is on our first record, which is okay. And I was waiting to do that, and then found this chord because I like to use strange tunings on the piano, on the guitar.
Yes.
So that chord I liked it, and then that chord. So I was like, look at the stars.
Right.
Real Neil Young-y. And then the rest just come out.
Come on, play a little.
Oh, okay.
You're so damn talented. What are you doing? You went and got the guitar.
Okay.
Don't fuck around. Let's do it.
In my voice or in my bad Neil Young voice?
Do it in your voice.
Okay. Yeah. That's even worse. But
those chords came to you, and then all of a sudden you said, hey, these are pretty good chords. I'm not screwing around here. This might be a song.
Yeah, so this is what happened. So I did this bit. I'll show you the bit I did.
Yeah.
I went in and I ran into where Johnny and Guy were, who are bass player and guitarist, and said, what do you think of this? And they were playing video games, and they were like, that's okay.
Yeah, good. They're worth 20%. Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
No, but I haven't finished the whole thing, so I was like, look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and all the things you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, that's so good. Don't stop. Go ahead.
I didn't know what that meant.
What do you mean you didn't know what it meant?
I was like, because the word yellow came out, and I was like, no one's going to know what that means.
But you're saying the stars are yellow and blue.
Well, I didn't mention the blue, but I can if you want.
Yes, but I mean, you're like, the stars are all yellow.
Yeah, but they're not yellow, though. That's the problem.
The stars are yellow.
Well, they are in sort of Christmas cards.
So you were confused by your own lyric. This was coming out of you, and you didn't even know what it meant. Like, there's no meaning to it.
I was like, I'm going to have to talk about this in 12 years on Howard Stern. I better figure this shit out.
But you're telling me there was no meaning to this thing?
Well, it was a feeling more than a meaning.
Right, yeah. Because it makes me emotional when you start singing that.
Really?
I get chills.
I think that's just because you find me attractive.
Well, you are a handsome man. I'll be honest with you.
So I went and I played that to the band.
Shall we leave you two alone?
Well, I like his look. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying I'm gay. I just like how you look. I wish I could look like that.
Today.
Yeah. You look great, man. Don't be so down on yourself.
Well, you're
look at that head of hair.
Yeah.
People would kill for that.
Yeah.
So then I played that to the rest of the band, that one little loop thing, and then I went into the bathroom because they were playing football, and
it sounds like they play a lot of games, these guys.
No, this is just one story.
Right.
And then in the bathroom there was like a good echo, and that's where your skin, oh yeah, your skin, the chorus bit come out.
Yes.
And then I went back in the room, and they said, okay, let's go and work on it.
Why are you frustrating me? Play a little bit of it. Come on, a little more than that.
He was just telling you how it went.
Okay. Don't you want to hear a little of that? Just
I would love to.
Yeah.
Were you in love with someone at the time you wrote that? That's not about a specific girl.
No, it's about all girls.
But I imagine when you write a song like that, girls went nuts when you would perform it, because that song went like double platinum, right? Like as soon as it came out, as soon as it was released.
It did okay.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you didn't have a big struggle. Like, in other words, you guys got together, it all clicked, you got a record deal. I mean,
it took a while, but not as long as for some people. We were lucky.
Did you shop around all the, like, did you perform in clubs, invite A&R guys down? I mean, how do you actually get this?
Yeah, we did all that. And we got like everyone does, rejected a bunch. And
do you laugh at the fuckers who rejected you?
No, we actually signed with one of the fuckers who rejected us.
So he came back?
He came back.
He gave it a second listen.
And I wouldn't speak to him. And the rest of the band were like, you got to speak to this guy. He feels terrible. He knows he wants to sign you now. And I was like, no.
Was part of what drove you to say, hey, to all the people who rejected you, look at us now. Like, look, we're going to be huge successes. I know this is going to work.
No, I don't.
You're not a bitter.
I think I probably agree with him.
You're not a
but we didn't have this song at the time.
Yeah, I see.
We didn't have this song, so whoever signed us had to kind of see a promise.
Did you come close to quitting the business ever because you felt like this is just a disaster for me? I'm not even getting anywhere.
I mean, every day think like that a little bit, but
did you ever have a deadline? Like, if I don't make it by, I'm going to give up.
50 was your deadline. Smart man. Let's keep waiting around. So that song becomes a hit. You start. Well, first of all, you had obviously gone with the band. You perfected your craft. Yeah. You guys went to clubs. You played. When girls would hear that song, they wouldn't go berserk for you? I mean, sexually, there was no period of time?
No, I don't know, man.
I mean, everything I read about
Where was he performing this that they were... Is that
at an all-boys school, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, women did not respond to these love songs?
A lot of the hookers I was seeing lowered their rates. That is true.
Have you ever been with a hooker?
Many times. Most
Really?
weeks. No.
Is that how you lost your virginity? Were you a late bloomer sexually?
Yes.
You were?
Yeah, 29.
No, come on. Stop it.
Like 20. I was raised very religious.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
What religion?
I'm not really sure. People keep asking me that.
You mean you studied religion, but you don't know what it was?
Well, it was, Christian, but
right.
There's so many branches of that now. I don't know which branch we were on.
Really?
Are you a religious man?
Not any more religious. I believe I'm a spiritual person.
You believe when we die, we visit a guy in the sky kind of thing?
I believe when you die, you get a tribute concert.
No, but seriously, do you believe that there is a heaven and a hell?
There's definitely, I don't believe in a hell. That's what made me stop being religious.
Do you take your children to church, or do you want them to get religious training?
No, I think it's important to show that there's all these different kind of religions, and this person believes that, and you can believe whatever you want. That's So what do you do if you want your children to get religious training, and you want them to sort of embrace all religions and get the concept of God? Where would you take your kids to learn that? That's a good question. I've been sort of doing the nihilist approach of like, I'm not taking them anywhere.
So they're not going to be raised in any kind of religious way?
No, not like strict of any religion, no.
What if your wife says...
What about yours?
I was against my children being raised with any type of religion. Yeah. My wife at the time was very concerned about that and decided to bring them to a temple.
Right.
And they are my children do have religion.
Right.
They believe in God, and they have a religious background. And they
well,
say
that's not the same. Religion is not the same as believing in God or faith, is it?
But they actually have religion, and they actually are grateful their mother took them.
Right.
They say it was the right decision. That they would have been upset if they didn't have that in their lives.
Okay. So do you feel bad?
I just feel wrong. I mean, I guess
you were very wrong.
I found religion to be divisive. I found it to be a terrible thing in my life. It was boring. I had no feeling for it. The people who ran the organization were bad. It caused a lot of fights as a kid. Did you fight as a kid for anything? Did you get in a lot of fist fights and stuff?
I got in a few.
Did you kick some ass, or were you?
No, one time I still have. Funny, I was just showing my daughter this scar I have on my hand from trying to punch someone's head, and I missed.
Yeah, I have one too.
And I hit the wall.
Yes.
So that was my last experience.
So now.
But I want to talk about religion once because faith is different, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'm not saying this, I don't believe in anything. I'm just saying I don't believe it has to be this, or if you believe that, then the other person's going to hell, all that crap.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Well, we're just wondering, I mean, how do you expose your children to, or I don't know. What do you do? You don't know what to do.
Yeah, you just say, I don't know. None of us know, is the answer.
The song Clocks, when did you write that?
2002.
And is that another 10-minute thought process, or
yes,
does that work?
Like 15.
15 minutes. I bet you that aggravates a lot of people. They go,
but you're only focusing on the 3 songs that have been hits. You're not talking about the 7,000 that no one ever heard.
Why do the hits come so quickly? What is that?
It's like, I don't know why.
Where were you when Clocks came into your head that you created?
Liverpool.
In Liverpool. What were you doing at the time?
Writing.
And I assume your bandmates were on their video games again?
No. Oh, man, you're being so...
No, come on. I mean, really, what is with these guys?
A band is about
those wankers.
Those wankers.
When was the last time you said wankers, Robin?
I don't think she's ever said it.
Wow. No one says that in America, right?
No.
You got any guys for Robin? I want her.
Please.
I want to hook her up with a guy.
I met a nice guy last night you'd like, yeah.
Really? Well, when can they meet?
Thursday, 6 p.m.
Okay. So let me understand something. Let's get back to the song Clocks.
Okay.
All right. Because it's a hit, and I like to know about this. I love the genesis of it. You're sitting around in Liverpool writing. Like, in other words, it's one of your times to sit and write. Mm-hmm. How does this come to you?
Okay, I'll switch over here.
All right, going over to the piano.
To you?
I love talking about it. I love music. I love to know about these songs.
No one really asked me about this.
Well, I'm asking you about it, for Christ's sake. I got you here. I'm going to ask you. And don't worry, I'll ask you about your wife, too. My wife has a crush on your wife. I'm talking about when I met my wife 12 years ago.
Let's make it happen.
You're not kidding. My wife's not into other women, but the way she talks about Gwyneth Paltrow, it's weird.
Your wife's very beautiful, though, isn't she?
She is very beautiful.
Isn't she young enough to be like your...
My granddaughter.
Right.
No, listen, there's only...
He raised her, then he married her.
That's right. No, she is much younger than I am.
Where's the calendar? Show him a picture.
Oh, here, look here. I'm a photographer now. We are raising money for North Shore Animal League, and here is my wife on the cover, and, of course, photographed by me.
Wow.
I'm multi-talented. You're only good at music. I have many talents. Go back to... Clocks.
The song Clocks, okay.
All right. Where are you?
A place called Parr Street in Liverpool. So we went to Liverpool, obviously, for all the same reasons everyone does, to kind of get some Beatles vibes, as it were.
Are the Beatles your heroes?
One of them.
Right.
I have a lot, though.
Are they the best group that ever existed?
They're one of them.
One of them?
Well, who are your other influences?
Well, you've got to put Stevie Wonder and the Stones and...
Right.
I mean, there's so many.
That's right.
Just Bob Marley.
There's no number one with you.
Well, probably Bob Marley is number one.
Really? Did you ever think of reggae as a full-time career?
Or Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah, we were having a conversation about Michael Jackson yesterday. He's like, I hated his music. He doesn't think
I don't
much
like
of
Michael
it.
Jackson.
And I keep telling him he is alone.
I
in
don't
this
feel his
feeling.
music. What is your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Billie Jean.
I never got Michael Jackson. That's it.
Well, you're just an idiot then.
I am. Well, hey, fine.
I keep trying to tell him.
But his music, listen, when you respond to someone's music, is it really idiotic not to like music?
No, it's not idiot. That's the whole thing about music.
So I'm not an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot.
Thank you.
You're a
Make that clear to everyone.
Well, you call everybody else an idiot if they like something you don't.
No, that's not true.
But I think
Steely Dan.
what I like
Steely
about
Dan.
him and Bob Marley is that you can, anywhere in the world, people like it.
Well,
it doesn't matter
except me.
Except you, but
There's this one pocket.
But even you would like one song, right?
I love Bob. No Woman, No Cry.
Yeah.
Get back to clock.
Okay.
All right. So you're sitting around. You're in Liverpool. You want inspiration. You went.
Okay. This is actually. So I had this, and I showed that simple thing to Johnny, who plays guitar, and he was there very early, and he was playing guitar, and he came up with the chords underneath.
That is a powerful little riff there, right?
Yeah.
When you have something like that.
But then he put the chords under it, and then the whole song came out like real quick.
Do a little, please.
Okay. Like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you
really?
never had a piano lesson?
Say what?
You never had a piano lesson?
I had some when I was 7 for a year, and then my teacher left.
That's amazing to me.
To get married, I think.
I mean, if I could do that, I mean, every guy wants to be able to do that.
I feel every guy would prefer to be guitar first.
Maybe, yeah, that's
Guitar's
true.
the most sexy, and then...
Yeah, and then the piano, but that is such... Listen, it's an aphrodisiac to women. I mean, I think every guy has the fantasy, I'll write a song like that. If I could play like that, I would get the woman. And it's such an amazing thing to be able to run around and do that kind of stuff and think that there's a song in your head. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I wish I
whole
could do
leap
that.
to songwriter, you know, I mean, I guess it takes an 11-year-old to say,
Yeah.
I'll be able to do that.
Well,
you know, because it is daunting if you think about it from this standpoint.
It's more daunting now, funnily enough.
Yeah,
At that
that's what I'm
time,
saying.
and I think it was good to have 10 years without anybody really commenting, because I had a few teachers who were really encouraging. They were like, keep writing, you're really good. But
Well, you're hitting on a point.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids today who want instant stardom, I'm talking about like American Idol.
Right.
In a way, they don't have those years where, okay, they're talented, they can play piano, but they've got to develop.
Yeah, and you already, if you put your video on YouTube now, you get slagged off by everybody.
Right.
Before you've even hit 14.
Do you get criticized? Of course,
Very much so. Yeah.
Right. Does it get to you?
Occasionally, it does. I get frustrated because sometimes it obscures all the positives. Maybe that's me, or maybe that's being British. Like today, I didn't sleep so much, so things feel more negative. But
do you feel underappreciated as an artist?
No, God, we couldn't ask for more, really. So,
but when a fellow rock star comes out and says, Coldplay, fuck them, you know, like that guy from Oasis or somebody, he's always criticizing everyone. But does that hurt you? And you're like, oh, come on, are you really?
No, the inter musician stuff is just, that's just like boxers before a game, making it all hyped up.
Yeah, but you're not like that. You don't.
No, I don't subscribe to that. But
the public with critics.
Well, when someone has a really valid point, it bums me out, because if I agree with it. But
what has someone said about you that you agreed with that was negative?
At certain times, like they need to improve this part, or they need to work harder on this bit, like whatever it was at the time, lyrics, or colorfulness of music.
But isn't that up to the? I mean, you're the artist. You're the one who's sitting and creating this stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes a music critic can point something out. A good one can know what they're talking about.
Can't you get neurotic? And I mean, if you really wanted to go about it before you release an album, you can call in all the music critics and say, "Do you guys agree with this song?" And and you could sit there and perfect it to.
No, it is impossible. I mean, everyone tells me. Funny enough, all the older guys who are all so sweet to us and stuff they always warned us. No, this is what's going to happen. 8 years in or 10 years in,
there'll be a backlash.
Well, there's a backlash, or you have to be very careful who you listen to and who you don't listen to, and that's all coming true.
Can critics destroy an artist? Can you basically say, I've got a good life, I've got a great wife, I've got kids, I've got enough money, I don't need to go work?
Yeah.
Could they destroy your spirit and you say, fuck it, I'm sick of the criticism, I don't want to be here anymore?
They could if we didn't play live, yeah, because anything that anyone's written is just fucking blown out of the water as soon as you go on stage, because you're like, well, all these people have not only come to see us, they've paid money, they've gone through parking, they've gone through traffic, they're all fucking here, and they've paid to be here. So why would I care about some?
Yeah, why aren't the fans more important than some guy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They are, but I'm saying that they you don't necessarily. Sometimes you can get into a place where you're in a little bubble, and you don't actually meet anyone. You don't meet any of your listeners. You only really see the bad shit.
Have any of your songs ever become hits that you thought were terrible?
One.
Which one?
A song called Speed of Sound.
So you think Speed of Sound is a bad song?
No, I think we just did a shit recording.
Play a little of Speed of Sound, please.
I don't really want to.
Yes, you must. All right.
That I like it, but we just didn't get it quite right on record.
Really? And you can't bear to listen to it?
No.
Is that why you can't bear to play it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
It pains you.
It pains
now,
me.
you have to play this in concert.
You're smiling.
No,
Are you
we don't.
joking?
You don't?
You don't play it.
We don't play it.
Wow.
Because of your feelings about the song.
Yeah, because like I said, if an audience can pick up real fast if you're not convinced by something.
So why not redo it in concert to the point that you like it? Why not set the record straight here and show me how you think it should be done?
No.
Do it.
Just do another song. I'm not being a pussy.
Man up.
I'm fucking manned up.
I want you to fucking play the song now the way it should be played and do it the right way that you think it should be heard.
I feel like I'm in school.
You want me to come over there?
Yeah, come over there.
No, I'm afraid of you.
I'll take you.
Gary, bring in my gun.
No, man, you don't listen. I bet you have shows which you thought weren't so great.
Never. No, I think every show blows, quite frankly, and I agree with you. But I would think, listen, I'm not a recording artist. I would think that you would want to get this song out to the public the way that you think it should be.
No, because we've written better ones since then. It's good, but we've written much better ones since then.
All right. A little bit. What? Did you?
I think it's just so boring to talk about that.
You know why I'm asking you that? Because I feel it's funny when you were singing. For some reason, I was thinking about a guy I've had on the show many times.
Right.
The lead singer of the Stone Temple Pilots.
Is that Scott?
Yes, Scott Weiland.
Yeah.
And I think about how brilliantly talented this guy is, and the great song and the great voice. And I'm sitting there watching you, and you got this great voice. And by the way, you're lucky too, because not only can you play, but you can sing.
Right.
How many guys who are songwriters who can't sing and they can't perform their own music? It's got to be frustrating.
Right.
So it destroys me inside that these guys sort of piss away their gift and get into drugs and things like that. It destroys the spirit, I feel. Where do you stand on that?
But he's done pretty good, though, hasn't he?
No, he's done great. So what, are you a big drug guy?
No. I think a lot of people who tour have, like, sleeping pill stuff.
Right. Did you get into that?
Yeah.
And
but I don't, but it's not like, it's just, I mean, but so do people who work in banks and stuff. I don't really believe in the whole kind of selling records by saying how much pills you take.
Right. Yeah. In fact,
but
I
you're
used
not getting propofol to go to sleep.
Right. But I used to think there were recording artists who actually boasted about their drugs because it made them sort of quote unquote cool.
Well, it does. That's what pisses me off. It's like, people still believe in that rock and roll myth Yes. And it's bullshit. And there is no such thing as cool. Cool is like, to me, is following what you believe in, and that's it. It's not about like I have to take the same drugs as that guy and wear the same pants, and I hate that.
I got very depressed when I was a kid, and the Beatles went through their drug phase. Like the music was fabulous and interesting, but I got scared that something was going to happen to these guys that I worship.
Right.
Like I was really nervous for them because they were going into an area where they could lose their mind.
Right.
And so that's why I ask you. It seems to me like you have it all together. You're not one of these guys.
You're not tortured. Or...
Yeah. I just don't believe in talking about that stuff. You know.
So you had a problem, is what
not
you're
a problem. No, not a problem. No. Well, no, I don't know.
You don't know if you had a problem?
I don't really.
All right, so you were on the road, you couldn't sleep, and you decided to take.
Man, this is not a good avenue for me.
Why is it not good? I'm not understanding.
It's so cliched and old.
So you did have a problem.
I think everybody has some kind of problem.
But you're afraid that
I don't believe that just because you're in a band, it makes your problems more interesting.
You're afraid that it will actually encourage people to do drugs.
No, I'm afraid that it's just kind of annoying.
Annoying. Why are you so afraid of talking about your life? Why would you think that anything you have to say is annoying?
I sing about
it. You sing beautiful love songs.
Right.
You don't write love songs to your wife?
She's in there somewhere.
She is?
Of course.
Have you written a love song to her?
Not that it's on record. They're all a bit too kinky.
You've never recorded a love song. Wait a second. You've never recorded a love. See, again, I don't follow that. Why can you make all these great love songs? And obviously, you've been inspired by women in your life, right?
Right.
Okay. These are not imaginary women you've experienced women.
Well, sometimes they are.
Why wouldn't you record a song? It seems like there's a lot of fear here in the marriage. Like, I'm not going to go public. I'm not even going to write a love song.
But we're not talking about that.
But the song, I think, well, I got to think now. Green Eyes.
Right.
That is about Gwyneth.
That's actually way before we met. So.
Shit.
You thought you were onto something.
But why, Chris? I don't understand. Why wouldn't you record a song?
I do. I don't know why you're saying I don't.
Why wouldn't you record a song about your wife? You said, I've never put on record a song about my wife.
No, you said a specific love song. I don't really know, man. I've got no answer for you.
You don't have an answer.
I get so uncomfortable with this line of questioning.
You do?
Everything that's on a record of ours is about my life. So if there's a love song in there, then you can join the dots.
But you will never cop to it.
I don't want to cop to it.
You don't want to cop to it because why?
Because a song, once you release it, it can be whatever anyone wants it to be.
Would you ever go to your wife and go to her in the morning after you've been up from 2 in the morning writing and say, honey, I just wrote a beautiful song about you and I want to play it to you? Would you ever be...
When they're getting all schmuck, you're making me tremble.
Would you ever do that?
Probably.
You'd have done that. I mean, that's got to turn your wife on, right?
I'm not good at talking about this, Howard.
What do you mean? About writing music about your wife?
Yeah, but it's all different because you know who my wife is.
Oh, so what? Who cares?
And they don't walk red carpets.
I'm just saying to you, like, everything we sing is real. So when there's love,
comes from the heart.
You can put 2 and 2 together. But
all right, listen to me. Let's play a little bit of a song because people love your music. And then we're going to get to the new album.
All right.
All right. Viva la Vida. Talk about that. Another 10-minute job?
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite song that you ever wrote? Why?
Apart from one called Paradise and The Scientist. I like a lot of them.
You do. You enjoy them. Here's songwriters go, they're like my children. Billy Joel told me it's like his kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like each of these songs he protects and this. You own all your own music, right?
No, we don't own hardly any of it.
Really?
You don't own your own?
I don't think you have to ask our manager.
You sold off the rights?
We don't own it for at least 20 years or something.
I see. Ooh. But you own the publishing?
No, we own a bit of the publishing.
Why is that? Did you sign a bad deal?
No, we signed a good deal. We own quite a lot of the publishing, but we don't own much of the recording.
I see.
Yeah. People always they always think bands, that's why people always think bands are a lot richer than they are, because they never remember that bit.
How long did it, I always assumed you guys were walking around with billions. No. Viva la Vida, well, how did that come to you? Quickly?
That came pretty quick. Yeah, except there's a chanty bit that everyone sings in concerts. That came a couple of months later in New York. Yeah.
So you have this song. It comes to you quickly.
Yeah.
You right away know it's in your head and it's a hit.
I didn't know. No, I thought it was good.
Play a little.
Okay. And this one I had like 55 pages of words, so that kind of.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because I had this idea of like Yeah, well.
Do you write where do you write these lyrics? On a paper bag or something?
On my hand, and then it goes on my phone.
Do you ever save some of like when you do you ever handwrite these things like on a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Do you save those scraps of paper?
No, not really.
You don't have a lyric book or any
Why
of
don't
that
you give
stuff?
them to me and I will sell them? Wouldn't that make a lot of money? No?
I don't think so.
All right.
So that one's this.
What happened?
It's kind of early for this. That was when I ruled the world. I can't remember the last bit.
Beautiful song.
I don't play piano when we play that live, you see.
That is beautiful.
Thanks, man.
See, if I play piano like that, I'd go to parties and play.
Yeah.
And I would get lots of chicks.
But you're doing pretty well, man.
I'm doing pretty well.
But he has to go in and talk.
Listen, that's how you met your wife. You were playing in concert, right? And she saw you, and she was blown out. I mean, what woman wouldn't swoon? It's a fabulous thing, this piano playing. If you could do it like you.
Well, how did that work? Because I really don't know the
love story?
Legend.
The legend is that Gwyneth was a fan. And she saw you, and listen, she probably went berserk that night, and the two of you got it on, and that was history. Is it hard to keep a marriage going when you're a rock star? You're on the road. How many days a week? How many days out of the year are you on the road?
Depends which year, but maybe up to 200, maybe.
But when you're on the road 200, it's hard to be a father. It's hard. I mean, your career takes up a tremendous amount of time, and your band is also a family.
Right.
Like, you've got to satisfy that family.
Yeah.
You've got to satisfy your life with your wife and your kids. How the fuck are you balancing all of this? Seriously, I mean, how do you balance that?
Well, I don't necessarily know if we do.
You don't?
We just try week to week.
And
do you have any rules about how often you two should see each other? Because she works, you work.
Yeah, and it's about kids as well. So
right.
So there's no rules, but you just gotta.
But I mean, some people say we don't want to be apart for too long. What is that too long?
Like, do you have the 2-week thing where you never go longer than 2 weeks without seeing each other?
We don't have any rules written down or anything.
Yeah.
Right, but it's hard.
How long have you been apart?
6 years.
But doesn't that keep it hot? Doesn't that keep it hot?
Very smoking.
I mean, it really does. No, seriously, I would think it's different. I know even with my career and coming up as a radio guy.
Yes.
I was consumed with career.
Yes.
I felt there's only one way I'm going to make it. I've got to put everything I've got into this career. And the career becomes your obsession.
Your mistress.
And I know, but seriously, but a musician, 200 dates a year.
Well, that's not necessarily always every year. And that's not even,
You could certainly afford not to go out on the road 200 days out of the year. I mean, you could stop working today.
But do you like it? I mean, do you love being out there?
The thing is, everything good in my life has come from the band, so we treat that respectfully, because with all your compliments about how I look, my life is much better because of music. It's not all based on looks. Do you know what I mean?
So if your wife said to you, hey, I don't want you going out 200 dates a year. 100 certainly enough. You could limit it because the kids need to see you and stuff.
Sure.
You will say no. This my career comes first.
No. I'd say yeah.
You would give it up.
Yeah. Sure.
But she doesn't put that pressure on you.
No.
But you must feel bad some nights in the hotel when you're traveling and you're with the band and you're traveling the world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever sit and go, fuck, what am I doing? I miss my kids.
Yeah, I think everybody does.
So this is tough.
It's not tough. It's not like being in the army or working in a mine.
Right.
And we're lucky we fly home and it's fine. We're fine.
I don't know, man.
Don't worry.
I worry about you. I do.
Thanks, Howard.
Do you ever get bummed out with
sometimes.
Tabloid reports where they'll say, Chris's marriage is over. That's it. It's done. Do you get irked by that? Do you read that shit?
No.
You don't?
No.
You know what you have and that's it?
Yes, sir.
You don't try to go out and deny it. Do you ever go up to the band and say, listen, guys, stop playing Pac-Man for a second.
Conference.
We got to have a press conference. You don't do that.
Stop playing Pac-Man. I like that.
The new album is called... Now, by the way, you say this album title has no meaning whatsoever.
No, I didn't say that. It depends who asks me. Some people ask me in a kind of aggressive manner.
They're angry.
So I just like, fuck you, why would I tell you?
But it does have a meaning, yeah.
Well, if you ask me nicely, I'll tell you.
I'll ask you nicely. Please tell me what this means.
Okay, so we took a lot of inspiration from people who paint street art and graffiti and stuff.
Banksy and such?
Everybody, but going back to Tacky 183 and all the New York guys and girls. And we thought, we need to come up with a tag name.
Right.
And that's where it came from, Milo Xyloto. And the reason we came up with the word xylo is because of xylophone. And it was about thinking of creating a character for us as a band that was a musical person.
In other words, if you were a street artist, your name, because you need to...
Milo Xyloto, yeah.
That would be, and you would be an outlaw in a sense, because street artists are outlaws. And you're enamored with that.
Yeah.
Because all over your piano there is street art, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see them as breaking the law. You don't see them as defacing a public
Not the good
property.
ones, no.
Yeah, right, but there's a lot of bad ones.
Well, but it's like music or art or radio. There's good ones and bad ones, and people who are great and people who are shit.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
you know, people have to start somewhere. You start off bad, right?
Yeah.
Take down a subway or two with it. That's it.
But there's a difference between, putting a moustache on the Mona Lisa and then doing a beautiful piece on a grey wall.
Marianne from Brooklyn, you're on the air. You're on with the...
Oh, my God, Howard, you made my freaking day. Chris,
Hi,
I'm
Marianne.
absolutely in love with you.
Oh, thanks for that.
What would you do to Chris if you could sexually? If he had divorced his wife and now suddenly you were divorced from your husband, what would you do to Chris sexually? You describe it to him so he can get turned on. He's been married a while.
Chris, my son played La Vida at his wedding, and I danced just the way you do in the video, man.
Does that turn you on when you hear... Shut up, Marianne.
Thanks, Marianne.
Thanks, Marianne. What does... She sounds like a crow. Does that turn you on when someone says, hey, man,
Why'd you cut her off, man?
Hear that voice?
We can only
That's
take
so
so
unfair.
much.
Well, I appreciated it.
Listen, you know what? I can't take it when they're screaming about you. They should only scream about me.
That's true.
That's
All
right. You know my ego.
It's male rage.
That's right. Male rage. But seriously, what Marianne says, her son, he played this at his wedding. Is that the ultimate compliment?
Yes.
Yes. And when you hear it in an elevator or something, like you go, wow, I'm really mainstream here.
Yeah. The honest answer is most of the day I don't really feel any resonance. I don't feel how our music has any impact on anybody because most of the day we're in a bus or moving or whatever we're doing. We're not with any people. That's why playing live is so important because it's the only time
you get feedback.
You get any feedback, or when someone says something like that, you're like, oh, that's great.
So that's really
I thought
great.
everybody fucking hated us.
Yeah, right. You can feel like
I'm not
that
joking.
sometimes.
I'm not joking.
You feel like people hate you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because you get ridiculed. What is the criticism of you? I
think this is our music's bad.
That your music's bad. All right, that's pretty heavy, yeah. And if you say your music's bad, you're saying you're bad in a sense.
Yeah, you can't really come back to that.
And when you're in a room and you're creating music and you haven't let anybody hear it yet,
what is it, Gary?
You must have the fear that, is this going to be the one that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I saw a piece on CBS Sunday Morning. They were interviewing him, and they said that, I guess it was a New York Times piece in like 2003, and they called them the most insufferable band of like the millennium.
Did you read that? Or,
I did, yeah.
Or is Gary breaking the news to you?
No, he read it.
Thank you for
I read
bringing
it,
that in.
That's the last thing I read, actually.
And that's so...
2005.
And you stopped reading reviews.
I stopped reading them from start to finish, yeah.
It's almost... Isn't it almost impossible to ignore them? I mean, because you get sucked in...
People will tell you anyway, won't they?
Eddie Murphy said he doesn't read them because he said if you believe the good ones, then you have to believe the bad ones.
Yeah. Well, exactly. As long as there's a variety, then you're okay.
So give me the definitive answer. Do you avoid all criticism? Do you avoid all newspaper reviews of Coldplay, or do you just?
Yeah, I do, but I always can feel what they are. If you see what I mean, I might accidentally see a headline or.
Are you tortured?
Am I tortured?
Yeah. Are you a tortured man in the sense that you value too much what other people think and you can't hold on to yourself?
No, like I said, I care most of all about the people that like it.
Do you go to a psychiatrist at all?
Occasionally.
And does that help?
How does that work? Occasionally.
I don't know how guys go occasionally. I think they're in therapy, but
that's the English way.
You got to go 3 or 4 days a week. Does your therapist say to you, "Listen, Chris, if we're going to get anywhere, you got to start coming in here on a consistent basis"?
No, he doesn't do that.
He doesn't. What is his name? Because I'd like to see him.
You need that guy.
My guy won't let me do anything but sit there every day with him. So,
do you seriously go every day?
I used to go 4 days a week. Now he let me. I said, "Look, I got to go 3 days a week. I'm a busy man."
Wow.
So now it's 3 days.
You don't think there was any kind of like business thing happening there?
No, I don't think he needs me as a patient. No, I don't have that feeling. The guy's pretty successful.
Do you go, Robin?
No, I let him go and do all of the therapy.
I do all of her work for her.
And you guys have been working together 30 years, is that right?
30 years.
Something like that, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well, listen, she keeps me going. If I don't have her, I'm in big trouble. Yeah, I mean, criticism's a bitch, you know.
But we're dwelling too much on it because it's just a little tiny part. It's like a little Achilles heel on an otherwise very wonderful.
Well, I mean, if you saw like Johnny Rotten says some shit about Coldplay, if you saw him, would you punch him out, or you just
no,
say,
I don't care, man.
I don't care. Fuck you. Right. That's the end of that. Okay, so the new album does have meaning in the title.
Yeah.
And the new single is, I guess you call it a single, right?
Yeah.
Is called Paradise.
Yes, sir.
This is about your wife, of course. Talk about the first time you had sex with your wife, and then describe it in every detail. That's right. Paradise would be that, wouldn't it?
Well, I didn't think she liked anal, and
but she does. You're here to say that your wife, who we don't even know who she is.
I've got one thing to say on this show.
Right. She loves anal. Well, that's a bit of a scoop, isn't it? Will you ever write a song about that?
I was like, I need to go on Howard Stern and set the record straight.
Why don't you? Why don't you just do a whole, let's go public about everything. Would you perform your new single for us?
Okay.
All right, here we go. You want to say anything about this song that came to you in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Let's hope it did, because
it actually did.
Yeah.
Someone gave me a phone call and said, "Do you want to write a song for the winner of this TV show?" And I said, "Yeah."
What do you mean?
I can't be more specific.
What does that mean?
They said, because someone.
Oh, is this one of those shows and somebody needs a song to sing?
Like American Idol?
Someone said, "Would you be interested in writing a song for someone who wins a talent show?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Sure." And then this came out like real quick. But then when I finished it, I was like, "Oh, I like that too much."
You can't give it away.
So this, okay, wait, because I'm a little thick.
You're not thick at all. Don't play the fool with me.
Absolutely thick. I don't understand. This, I'm guessing American Idol or one of these type of shows came to you and said, "Look, at the end, whoever wins has to have an original song."
Right.
Would you honor us by writing this song? You wrote it for them, and you had this in mind for them, and then you said, "This is so good."
I didn't say it was so. I didn't like.
Screw them. I'm not giving it to them.
No, I just thought when it was done, I just thought, we'll keep that.
We're going to keep this song.
Yeah.
All right. And this is about paradise. What is this paradise?
This is about people when you're going through something, struggles or whatever, and you can, in the Shawshank Redemption where Tim Robbins is in solitary, and he dreams about Mozart, and he says it's cool because I have all the music in my head.
Right.
It came from that idea.
So what's in your head? That's paradise. In other words, they can't take that from you.
Just all the things you can
hold on to.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's about your wife.
Yeah.
Something weird just happened in my ear.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
All right. You want me to play it?
Sure.
I'll just play like a little bit.
Come on, give us a little of paradise. Very nice. Beautiful.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
10-minute job,
Stop
huh?
it, yeah.
What happened there? You got something caught in your throat?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You got emotional, didn't you? Good for you.
I didn't get emotional.
Tell me what that's like. That's why I'm in therapy. I have no idea. Listen, the new album. How do you say this? Milo Xyloto.
Milo Xyloto, yeah.
Milo Xyloto. That's a tongue twister. Who are you hanging out with these days? Sting and those guys?
I don't know where you got that from.
Who are your buddies?
Get out of here.
My buddies are the same.
Who's your best friend?
My best friend, well, I guess it's a cliche, but there's people in the band.
Oh, not your wife. Interesting.
You don't hang out with any famous people.
What did you say? Not my wife.
Not your
Fuck
wife.
you, man.
That's pretty cool. Okay, that's
You've
very
never hung out with Madonna. She and Gwyneth aren't friends.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't really hung out with Madonna, no.
You got some heavy friends.
What do you want to know about famous friends? Is that what you're trying to ask?
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? You're going to invite me to one of these parties you dudes throw.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know what the fuck I'm talking about. There's a whole little group of you.
I wish I was me, because you have a really...
You, Beyonce, and Jay-Z.
Listen,
well, that is my friend.
Jay-Z?
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's your friend?
Yeah, he's my friend.
So why the fuck don't you invite me to some little party when you have a little get-together with
I didn't know you were...
I could hang with Gwyneth. Listen, let me tell you something. They put me in a room at a party with Barbra Streisand. We entered it up for like 2 hours.
You did what for it? Well, no.
We talked it up for 2 hours.
You entered it up.
You entered it up. You don't know Italian? All right, so listen. What are you saying? Gwyneth won't let you meet Madonna? I mean, what is her? Is she keeping her under wraps? What is she, embarrassed?
Wait. I'm so lost. There's about 8 questions.
You have a lot of high-level type friends, right? You know,
I have a lot
of showbiz.
All kinds of friends, but you don't want to know about the low-level type.
No. I'm not interested in them. I got enough of those.
Okay.
All right. I want to get to one of these parties you have.
Well, okay, when do we have them?
You tell me. I'm not privy to all this.
Every Wednesday at 4.
It's right. So invite me to one of them. I'll behave. I know how to do it. You know what I mean? I know how to play like I don't give a shit that Gwen is sitting over there. Don't worry. I know how to play her game, your game, everyone's game.
All right.
I'm
the game.
Smart guy. How to play the game. Write a song about how to play the game.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Play the game.
That's good.
When you're with famous people, act the same.
Right.
Don't let them know that you think they're special. Something like that.
That's very good.
I like that. Keep going.
Play the game.
Play some more of that.
No.
Listen, you're a delightful guy. You're a talented guy.
I'm being nice to you, though.
Are you a prick sometimes? Can you be mean?
Very much.
Are you mean to the band?
Most afternoons. No, not mean, but they can get frustrated. I think most singers drive bands a bit crazy.
Actually, I hear good things about it. You like you donate 10% of your income to charity. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. What are the charities you believe?
But we don't donate the other 90, so
that's true.
It's how you want to look at it.
Do you ever beat your band? Do you ever hit them?
Beat in what sense?
Like with your fists, punch them or hit them?
No.
Are you paranoid about your hands because you play guitar and you play piano? Are you worried about them a lot?
That's funny you say that. I felt like when they're supposed to be taken, they will be.
What do you mean?
I mean, as in, I thought I should. Do I worry about my fingers, or do I just feel like when one goes, it goes?
Did there become a time where you said to yourself consciously that, like, oh man, I'm worrying about my hands too much. I constantly am worried about them, and then you came up with that philosophy: if they go, they go.
I mean, I have a little OCD. I know you do too, right?
Yeah.
So
I saw you rubbing some lotion on your hands. Was that because
I was going to put that in my throat, but then I thought you would ask about it.
I see. So you rethought it.
But then that's why I couldn't sing the last song.
I'm watching everything you're doing.
I know.
That's right. I see what's happening.
Like an eagle.
You suffer from OCD?
Yes.
You're worried about germs?
No, not so much germs, just kind of
getting sick.
Numbers and stuff like that.
You have rituals and numbers.
Yeah, but I try. I've got better with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but a lot of that has to do with fears about illness and things like that. Are you protective of your throat? Are you constantly worried about being sick because you have to sing at night? I mean, it's got
more than anybody else is.
Really, you have a healthy.
No one wants to go on stage in Pittsburgh and not be able to sing. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
You need your voice, but
nobody wants to go on stage in Pittsburgh.
Period.
Come on.
Where's your favorite place to perform?
I like anywhere there's people.
You don't care.
No, if someone wants to be there, I'm happy to play.
Now, when you decided,
have you been down to Occupy Wall Street?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, Rob, maybe you and I should go there.
I think it's time for us to go.
I'm pretty sure we get invited over to Chris's house if we hit the Occupy Wall Street.
But I'll tell you the truth. I went like 2 weeks ago, and I was in shorts because I was on a run.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know if they want people like me here, especially wearing shorts. So I didn't stay in it very long.
What do you mean?
I just felt like I didn't know if I would be perceived as like a rich person who shouldn't be there.
Right.
Right.
And then I got confused. So I had a sort of debate with myself and left.
Did people recognize you when you went down there? Or they did. Nobody cared you were there.
It was a completely hypothetical argument.
Yeah. You're having an argument, and no one even cared.
I was like,
well, listen, what do you? Who knows?
I had my hood on, so.
What is that shit you just put on the back of your throat? I saw you do it. What is that?
It's just this strange oil stuff.
Why? Because it's going to keep you from what? Getting sick, or do you have a sore throat?
It stops me from saying anything stupid.
You take your finger and you jam it down your throat and you touch the back of your throat.
Yeah, put some oil on like a car.
I see.
Engine.
It greases you up.
Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, I can't get those high notes like you just heard.
Listen, man, we're having fun here, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Remember that I'm fun. All right. Okay. Just keep that in the back of your mind. And before you leave, report how many women you've been with at once as a rock star. How many times? In other words, have you been in a group orgy? Did you ever get to experience that before you met your lovely wife? Or do you orgy with your wife? You got to.
Did you and the band have the bus and do all that stuff?
No, we don't. We've been real lucky with. We didn't spend much time on a bus.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Look at us. We're getting blowjobs for you. Whatever the accent.
That's an amazing impression.
Thank you. Listen,
which of the guys
can you do that
again?
Hey, Governor, we're going to get a blowjob tonight. I can be in the band. Listen to me. You're a good man.
I'm listening.
And you're writing great music.
Thank you so much.
Fuck the critics. I don't know who these critics are.
Yeah, I'm not saying we just talked about them for a minute.
That's right.
I want it to be clear that most of it is all good.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
For not having any piano lessons, barely. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I'm proud of you.
Maybe you should take some piano lessons now.
Can you imagine if he took piano lessons, how good he'd be?
Funny, I asked. We did a Steve Jobs when he died. We went and played at the Apple headquarters, and Nora Jones was playing, and I asked her to show me some new chords because she has incredible piano skills.
What did she show you? Let me.
She didn't show me yet.
She hasn't shown.
She's going to show you.
She's going to come over and teach you.
She said they were a closely guarded secret.
So she's not going to teach you.
I don't know. She didn't tell me her rates.
Were you friends with Steve Jobs?
We met him a few times, and he was cool to us.
Yeah. What a genius, huh?
Yeah.
You got an iPod?
Yeah.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yep.
You got a Mac computer?
Yep.
Is there anything you have that isn't Mac? No. Me too. I love it.
Okay.
I love that guy. I think he's fantastic. What did you do? You played his funeral?
His memorial.
His memorial. But you know what was interesting?
I would have been great at that. I would love to play a memorial.
What are you going to play?
I would get up and say a few words.
Before we really knew who he was, he came to see us play, and he was in the dressing room, and then Dave, our manager, explained, this is Steve, and we're like, oh, okay. We put two and two together, and so we asked him to tell us how he built his first computer. That was really interesting.
Oh, amazing, right?
Because he actually knows how to take the bits and make something from nothing. Yeah,
pieces. Yeah.
Him and that Wozniak character did it in their parents' garage or something.
That's what he said, and amazing.
It's very rock starish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. Sorry to see him gone, man. Imagine what was in his head.
I know.
I hope he wrote a few things down before.
I think he wrote a lot down.
Is that what he told you?
No, that's what I heard.
What'd you play at his?
What did we play?
Yeah, when you.
Some of these same ones.
Yeah.
And a song called "Every Teardrop Is a Waterfall."
Did you get the whole place crying?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's fabulous.
Was that your goal, or were you trying for something else?
I never made anyone
It's
cry.
a strange thing to play. One of your guys asked if we played weddings. Was that Jason? Someone you're talking to?
Yeah.
But we never played a memorial before, and it was strange to think what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. But it was cool to do.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't play if somebody offered you a couple of million to play a wedding. Would you do it?
We'd consider it now.
Like Gaddafi, or
would you do a bar mitzvah? Would you play Gaddafi's wedding?
Like I said, I think the way the music industry is going is that we're working musicians, so. Someone wants us to play somewhere, then we'll consider it.
Right. You say, hey, you got a bar mitzvah, you got the money.
We're for hire, man.
How much would it cost me to have Coldplay play a bar mitzvah? Seriously.
$1 million?
$1 million you're there.
Yeah.
I went over someone's house. They had Elton John playing in the living room.
Right.
And I think it was about $1 million or $2 million or something like that.
Yeah.
I told you, one of my friends was, on some big yacht, and there was this whole bandstand next door at another yacht.
Yes.
And he said, well, what was that? And they said, Beyonce was there last night. She just played the concert on a yacht, somebody's personal yacht.
Yeah, I tell you.
What's funny, though, is when you get a big thing, like when people talk about big money like that, it sounds a lot more than it eventually ends up. You know what I'm saying?
Because you have to split it with the band, and you get a manager.
And you pay tax, and you have all costs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still amazing. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, can you imagine $1 million just for showing
It's
up at some
pretty
guy
crazy.
and you do a full concert and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, but I don't think it's what we choose to do first and foremost. This is if we get desperate, basically.
Right. You would do it though, right? That's
yeah.
it. Okay. In other words, wasn't there a point where rock stars would say, "No fucking way, I'm ever playing a
I don't
bar
think there was
mitzvah or
ever a
wedding"?
point.
No.
Oh, I know some rock stars who won't do it.
But
They-
those are the people that are like billionaires.
yeah, exactly. You're right. Did Gwyneth go with you to the Apple thing, to the Steve Jobs thing?
No, sir.
She should have gone.
By the way, we've never talked about the names.
Oh, what? Oh,
The
Apple.
baby names.
My cat's name is Apple, by the way.
Okay, there we
because
go.
she showed up on my doorstep in an Apple box. Nothing to do with your kid.
Okay.
What about the names?
Well, you know, we have made a big deal about, is there a Hollywood thing
There is.
where you have to give your kids special names? They
Yes.
can't have normal names.
What do you mean a Hollywood thing?
It is.
What do you
I'll tell
imagine
you.
it-
I'll explain. It's my theory. Robin is touting.
I can't believe you haven't brought
I'll
it
cop
up.
to it. Listen, I've said this often that the famous people.
Yeah. But why are you not including yourself in this? This is what I don't understand.
Because I am so evolved. You're looking at a fully realized man.
You're pretending like you're some Joe Schmo.
No, I purposely name my kids regular names.
What are they called?
Deborah, Emily, Ashley, this kind of thing.
Right, but at one point
proper
in
names.
history, someone wasn't called Deborah.
That's true.
Right?
Listen.
It's just a name.
One of my kids is named Xylophone, but that's all right.
We don't talk about that one.
I feel that because these artists like yourself are special, you're a special person.
That's not true. man.
Gwyneth is a special person. That in a sense, the kids have to be special too. They don't want just normal type kids. They want special kids, and these names have to be special. Bon Jovi's in it. You know his kid name is Telefunken U47. Now that is what I'm talking about.
Are you joking?
No, I'm being serious. Not about the name of Bon Jovi. But I'm saying, no, his kids' names are like Romeo and things like that.
Right.
They
want
like
them to
cowboy
be.
names.
They want them to be rock and roll special too. They do.
Right.
That's it. Do you agree with this?
Well, first of all, I take issue with your thing about people being special and stuff. That's just not
You're
true.
embarrassed to admit it. You feel
No,
special.
I'm not embarrassed to admit it because
you are special.
No, only in a certain field.
Yes.
But what about there's special dentists and there's special bus
Given,
drivers?
but a special dentist isn't recognized the same way a special musician is.
Right,
you
but it
guys,
should be.
you guys.
I'd rather have a great dentist than
I
a great
agree. The guy who
record.
invented the cure for for this or that. Some of these guys,
Right.
scientists, you don't even know. They're fabulous people.
But I do agree with that. People who are in the arts, that's their job to come up with new names for shit and stuff like that.
Yes, they're trendsetters.
But I don't think it's anything to do with being special. I think it's just we come up with song names and album names and.
And
so when you're naming a baby, you're still thinking,
Yeah,
what's
so if you think, well, I could call it Rupert, but everyone else has done that. So you could call your album Rupert.
You're an original. You like to come up with original. You're an artist. You create new art.
Well, you try.
Yes, absolutely. All right, the last word.
And, well,
goes
we
to
didn't
Jim.
come up with. My son's called Moses, so I didn't think of that.
Not really original
That's true.
there.
I like that name. That's a good name. I like the name Apple.
I love the name Apple.
I like it. And I'm going to go to one of these parties. I'll meet Apple.
What
and
is the
believe me, I
middle
like
name?
the
What
appropriately.
middle name do you put with Apple?
Apple Schmapple. No, really. What is Apple's middle name?
Schmapple.
Is it? Really? It's a good name. Good
That's
solid
actually
name.
Schnapple. We got an advertising deal.
Apple Schnapp. Smart.
She's got an endorsement.
Do you do any of that? Do you have endorsement? Do you ever
No.
get music on commercials or anything? Will you ever do
No,
that?
we once did an iTunes commercial, but we don't tend to do them.
But and that's a decision that.
Yeah, that's like we're talking about the thing about playing weddings. Is like you've got to do it when needs must. But we've been lucky; we haven't needed to do that.
Everybody has a line that they draw. In other words, some people are not comfortable making their music that commercial. But couldn't you make an argument that now that radio is so fragmented and all that, putting your music on commercials might be a good way to reach people?
You could make that argument. Are you making it?
I'm asking.
Maybe you could.
Let's argue.
I don't think you choose to do that first and foremost as the primary way. It's not.
Is that a group decision or is that?
Yeah, that's a drummer
group?
decision actually.
It's really?
Yeah,
Our drummer makes those decisions.
Oh, please.
Will.
I don't believe that for a
I
minute.
swear on my life.
I think you're making a joke.
I'm not
No
making
drummers make the decisions.
I promise on my
The
life.
last drummer that made a decision was Dave Clark 5, and that was it. And everyone knows it. That's rock and roll history. And you better cop to that.
Karen Carpenter didn't even make
Jim, what's the last word for Chris?
Yeah, Chris, would you let Howard's beautiful wife Beth or any other woman go down on Gwyneth?
Oh my God!
That's let me speak for you. That's
course.
oh, you would? Okay, all right. I thought it was inappropriate, but no, you would allow it.
That's her decision.
Oh, that's fabulous. We have to get those two kids together. Come on.
Hope Gwyneth's in the mood.
Yeah, let's have a real party. Forget your fancy friends. All right, listen.
What do you think that guy is doing today?
He's probably beating off right now. I'm thinking about that. All right, Rich, let's get a more appropriate last thought.
That's okay.
I don't know. Rich, go ahead.
Yes, I just have to say that I love Chris's music. It's great interview, Howard, and I'm a gay guy, and I'm in love with Chris.
Oh, thank you so much.
If Chris was gay, if he went into a coma and woke up gay, would you be with him?
Of course I would.
What would you do to him? What action would you
What's your
perform?
fantasy? Do you
Do you fantasize that Chris would give you anal or you would give him anal?
But I wonder, does he masturbate to Chris?
Do you ever masturbate to Chris?
No, I have not.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Yeah, really.
But I would. After this interview, I will.
All right, very good. All right, that's fair enough. All right, I guess he's not comfortable saying what he did.
That's okay.
Pleasure meeting you. What
was that sound?
That was him having sex with you. He's digging your scene. Listen, Chris, we could yenter it up all day.
Thanks. I loved the entering, and I loved it.
I loved having you here. Thank you for
Thank you
playing
for having
the
me.
music.
It's very kind of you.
Everyone go out and get the new album, of course. That goes without saying. Coldplay's new album, Milo Xyloto, is in stores now. For more information, go to Coldplay.com. And go see Coldplay in a town near you.
Yeah.
You guys are on the road, right?
Well, not yet. We've got to think about that, but I'm sure we will be. I hope so.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, you're going to get bored sitting at home.
Stay tuned for details.
Just staring at the wall.
Okay.
Hey,
how's it going, man?
We were talking a long time then.
Really?
An hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah. Went by fast though. Yeah, you're a fabulous interview. Thank you.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks so much, man.
He's great. Right, great stuff.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you so much. No, that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
No, I hope you
didn't know what to
enjoyed
expect.
it.
I was like,
uh-oh.
Okay.
No, we're big fans. We love having you.
Likewise.
Yeah, no, this
I
was
was
great.
researching you guys yesterday. It was interesting.
Research it. What do you find on us?
What comes up when you Google us?
Oh, it's just interesting to know, like, you were in the Air Force, right?
Yeah. They got real stuff out there,
Yeah,
huh?
you're a nurse.
Yeah.
I was a general. That probably didn't come
We
up.
served together.
I'm not comfortable talking. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. My military. Yeah, I killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he doesn't like to talk about
You can see I'm a warrior.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's a
really
pleasure.
wonderful.
No, that was a real
Great. Dave, our manager
special.
is such a big fan. He's been asking us.
Well, thanks for allowing. Thanks for allowing us on.
He listens to us. That helps.
Thanks. It was a great interview. Really a lot of fun.
No, a lot of fun. We hope that we didn't force you down too many areas that you were
I wish we had.
with.
Hey, you know, it's funny.
I just don't answer.
That's the way to handle it.
Well, that's like my sister once said to me, I'm not coming on your show and taking my top off. I said to my sister, I go, are you out of your fucking mind? I go, what part of you would think, A, that I'd ask you that, and B, couldn't you say no to me? Or do you really want to come in here and take your top off? It was crazy stuff. But no, I looked up at the clock and I saw that an hour and a half went by.
Yeah,
I realized
that's
we should probably take a commercial.
It flew.
Yeah, it flew by.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, I'll see you around.
Thanks so much.
All right,
Yeah,
take care.
great seeing you.
Chris, may I ask you about the interview real quick?
Sure.
So I saw a transformation take place with you today.
Right.
You know, beforehand, a lot of nerves, a lot of trepidation. But
yes.
All of a sudden, it was like you were having this very comfortable conversation with Howard. What happened?
I was still a bit nervous, though.
Really?
What's the question?
Well, I mean, you gave it back. When did that transformation
You told me not
take
to be
place?
nervous.
I did.
Yeah.
No, but what about Howard made you so comfortable in there to the point where you were yentering it up?
Well, they're very sweet. They're very good at their job, right? It's their job to make people like me forget that you're being interviewed.
Absolutely.
And just chat.
How did today compare with some of the other interviews you've done over the years?
It was 5th best ever.
Who are the other top 4?
I can't tell you that.
All right, thanks.
No, it was fun. Thank you so much.
Good luck with your new
All
album.
right, thanks a lot. See you later.
Dude, by the way, Jason in that Coldplay interview was cackling the whole time. It is slightly distracting. I don't want to be a
In
dick,
fact, there
but
were
it's
people
like,
on the phone saying they didn't like Jason laughing. I wasn't aware of it.
Did you see me like when they put the camera on? It was kind of like I was practically on his lap, like I wasn't in my normal spot.
It was louder than ever.
Sorry, well, I've asked you guys 1,000 times to give me those headphones.
Yes, Greg.
It does bother Howard.
Great interview. He was a great guest and everything. The only complaint I had was
I could just hear Jason's annoying laugh throughout the whole interview.
Jason must be a big Coldplay fan because he was in here the whole time taking pictures.
I didn't even notice.
I noticed here and there because he seemed to be in here a lot. And then afterwards, everyone said Jason's laugh and cackling was annoying, and I said I didn't even.
He was trying to call attention to himself?
Yeah. Who knows? But I didn't even hear him doing that.
I didn't notice it.
I didn't either. But you know what? We've had more than one call coming in saying, "Can Jason please stop laughing in the background?" But Jason, were you in here a lot because you're a fan, or did you feel you needed to be in here?
I feel I needed to be in here in case he wanted to cuddle.
What happened there, Jason? A lot of people saying your laugh.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just getting out in the hallway from the Howard TV guys.
Yeah, you were having a good time.
I was having a good time, but I laugh. I hear every time I'm on. People say, "Oh, I can hear you laughing, good or bad." But I was sitting closer, probably to you than I normally do,
right?
Because of the equipment over there. So maybe I was closer to your mic. But yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You usually don't stay in the whole time with your camera.
No, it's not true. Lady Gaga, I was in here the whole time. Billy Joel, the big ones, you know, because you know, if they're only going to play one song, then I'll come in when they're doing the one song. But like Lady Gaga and Billy, you know, they were all doing like medleys. So
right. Okay, all right. So your laugh evidently needs to be stifled, according to the audience.
I apologize
to
anyone I offended.
As a photographer, he never gets finished, I guess.
That's right.
If they're playing more songs, he has more pictures.
Well, no, there's another chord. I'm not going to miss that.
If I wasn't in here,
he liked it.
Listen.
He's going to the guitar. I have to get that.
I absolutely wanted to be in here for this interview, but yeah, I would.
Jordan, you say Jason's laugh was annoying you too? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hey now.
What do you have to add to this conversation?
Hey, I'm a big fan. I love you. Love Chris Martin from Coldplay. He was a little standoffish, you know, but overall it was an amazing interview. But yeah, no, if he knows his laugh is messed up, then why would he come and do a musical performance? Never let the laugh.
There is a theory running around that Jason was laughing extra hard because he loves Coldplay and he did want to be noticed somewhat.
I don't think so. I could have figured out a lot of ways to get noticed besides laughing very loud.
Right.
I have a way of getting in people's faces. I'm not worried about getting noticed.
You should know not to come in there if you have a fat-ass laugh like that, you know?
Well, then Howard should find another photographer. I don't know what to tell you. Right now, this is currently my job.
He was having a good time.
Shut your ass up.
Try to shut your ass up.
I will try very hard to shut my ass up in the future.
All right, very good. There he is, Jason. Did you enjoy meeting Chris Martin and listening to him? Did you learn anything new?
Yeah, I didn't know. First of all, because I got luckily through working here, I had an advanced copy of that Mixilo, Salido, and every interview they've been saying like, oh, it has no meaning and stupid. And so I found that story interesting. How they split the money was interesting. How he wrote some of his songs, like all that stuff was new. He doesn't talk this much in his other interviews.
So he had you sensed that he was fun, and that's why you were giggling. You were having a good time.
I think my laugh brought him out.
You do you? You think your laugh brought him out?
I think it made him very
I was trying to loosen him up. Yeah.
Perhaps you're right, Jason. Your laugh made him feel funny.
If I'd laughed harder, he would have given one of those little rosebud things out of his asshole, like that stripper yesterday.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay.
Don't mention.
Jason.
Yes, sir.
You're very critical of others on the show when they act unprofessionally or not in accordance with what Howard likes.
Yes.
Do you think you yourself fell into that category today?
No, and neither does Howard, because he hasn't said anything. I'm in the studio a lot to take pictures. This is not the first time that people have complained or said positive things about my laugh in the studio. Some people like it, some people don't. And if Howard doesn't want me in the studio taking pictures, then I don't think he'll hesitate to say so.
Well, I don't think it was about the picture taking. I think it was more so about that your laugh to the listeners and to other people was distracting. I mean, it was very, very loud. It was noticeable.
Okay, and I apologize for it.
If that were someone else in the studio laughing and carrying on, don't you think you'd be critical of them?
Yeah, so people are critical of me. I don't understand what your point. Are people not being critical of me right now?
No, they are.
I'm trying to follow your logic here, Greg. Are people not being critical of me right now?
Yes, but that wasn't my question.
Oh, well, you're asking me if I would be critical of somebody.
Right, but yet you did it yourself.
Are you saying I should be more critical of myself?
No, I'm saying if you require professionalism and a certain way of acting in the studio from other people, wouldn't you yourself?
I don't require anything from anybody, Greg. Where are you getting this from?
I'm saying if that were Scott DePace in the studio laughing.
So if that was Scott DePace laughing in the studio, I would have told Gary, wow, Scott DePace is laughing like a maniac in the studio. Then he would have told Howard. Howard would have said it on the air, and Scott would have yelled at me for 5 hours about it. There's no difference between that and a caller call. And a caller called in, was critical about it. And I went in and faced the music, and unlike Scott, I didn't blow up like a baby and yell at everybody involved. I just face the accusation. I don't know.
But you're not understanding my question.
Yeah, I'm really not.
If this was something that you would criticize someone else for, why would you yourself go in and do it?
Well, I didn't go into the studio to intentionally laugh to the point where it interrupted the Chris Martin interview.
Okay.
So if you're implying I did it on purpose, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm trying to follow you here. I don't understand. Are you saying that I'm not being critical enough of myself?
Being loud during one of Howard's interviews inside the studio.
Yeah.
Is distracting and
okay, and I didn't realize it was happening, and Howard didn't realize it was happening. It wasn't until it was brought to both of our attentions after the interview, to which Howard asked me about it, to which I addressed it and apologized to anybody who it may have offended, and Howard didn't seem to care that much about it. So,
fine.
So what? I don't understand.
Well, you're trying to get me into a game of semantics here.
I'm not trying to get you into any game of semantics. You're asking me.
I'm just saying,
I don't understand your question. I don't understand your question.
I'm surprised that you, of all people, wouldn't be very quiet and professional and almost mouse-like inside the studio.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I laugh. I've always laughed in the studio. No one's ever talked to me about it, and really, no one's still talking to me about it. So, I don't find it unprofessional. Okay. And if Howard found, but I will tell you the difference between me and Scott and other people. If Howard said, "You know what, man, you really got to cut." I'm listening back to the show, and the laughter is cutting through, and I didn't notice it at first, but it's really bothering me. You've really got to work on that. My answer would not be to argue back. My answer would be, "Okay, I'll do whatever you want."
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hahn and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Babu Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked about the swirling rumors that Howard might be a judge on America's Got Talent. We tried to figure out whether it's good for him, whether people will like him, what would happen if the show failed, if the show succeeded, would Howard get credit? We talked about all the things that could happen. Here's how it went.
There's no America's Got Talent deal in place, and Howard doesn't comment on negotiations. He said that, but of course, he loves hearing the stories and the speculation. We're going to get into that because there's mixed feelings, really, on whether he should do it and what it all means.
I thought everyone was asking me whether it's true or not. I said, it doesn't really matter. Howard would never come in and say that it wasn't because he loves hearing people talk about him.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember the whole American Idol thing. That went on for weeks.
And he loved it.
You think Howard wants to do it. He said he wants one of those jobs where he can just walk in, speak. He's talking about hosting a game show, but we'll extrapolate to judging. Sits down, judges the competition, and he's out. And that's basically the gig for however many weeks.
In a way, this is no work for him. It's just show up with your opinion.
But do you think it becomes work for him once he decides to do it?
Well, if he did it, he'd have to go to, right? I don't watch the show enough. Is it a lot like American Idol? Like,
similar.
Are there audition cities?
But yeah, so you go one day. They do all that stuff for you. You go one day.
But you still have to go.
You go one day to St. Louis and you say you're through, you're not through. And you do have to do that a couple of times. That's true.
I don't know. When I watch American Idol, I mean, Jennifer Lopez looks like she's about to fall down from exhaustion when they finish those days. Oh, my God, it's so hard. We've been here from 8 o'clock this morning. It's 5, and I'm just so exhausted.
But that comes with the paycheck, that comes with the deal if Howard decides to do it. But the angle I want to take is the audience and how, what happens to Howard Stern from an audience perspective.
What are you saying? Like, does it lessen him in a way to some people?
I don't know if lessen's the right word, but it definitely changed the dynamic. You're going to get those people who have never heard Howard before, just know of him and that he's foul-mouthed, and this we heard a lot of like the Milwaukee pundits, and then he's going to be up there and he's going to do his thing judging, and he'll be great. And I get it's similar to what happened when Private Parts came out. It's like, oh, what a sweet guy, I didn't realize that. And Howard's going to get a following from those Midwestern families that he didn't have before.
Well, you were saying it's a lot like when Ozzy Osbourne did the MTV show, how everybody thought Ozzy was a guy who bit the head off a bat, then they realized Ozzy's just a dad, and there's something in some bizarre way sort of charming about him. Do you think there'll be an era where people will be like, yeah, man, I was a fan of the Stern Show before America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Like I knew him when.
Yes, I do think that could happen. Don't you? I mean, I think the perception of him would change being on that show. And I wonder how the hardcore Howard, the guys who've been there since NBC, would feel about this. Because,
well, wouldn't they be happy for him?
It's vindication, I think. It's
right.
Like, I've been listening to him for this long, and now you're seeing why.
But I remember when I worked in the record store, like that movie, what's that movie with Jack Black, where they all work at High Fidelity? You know, a lot of people love a band until they become popular, and then the band sold out, man, because they sold 11 records.
But do you
think there'll be some of that?
Yeah, I do. Do you think, though, that Howard, one, would welcome that kind of adulation from the crowd like that? And two, if he did do it, can he be just the third judge on the panel? I mean, American Idol.
Let's be honest. If he's on there, he's not just the third judge on the panel.
And
he's the judge on the panel.
And that's why I'm saying I think it then becomes work, because he'll care about how the show comes off. He'll get involved in all phases.
Yeah, it'll be work. But, you know, I thought an interesting line today was Robin said when Al Michaels was in, well, he's watching the show anyway, as if like he should just do it. And Al goes, yeah, on his couch in his underwear. Which means it's no work to watch it. It's a lot of work to do it.
And Al felt it would be a bad idea for Howard to do it.
Yeah, he's a super fan. He thinks he thinks the show is beneath Howard. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
So what? American Idol beneath Howard?
No. American Idol is the most popular show. No, it's the most popular show in the country. Well,
but it's still big. It's still huge.
It's still big, but I agree. First of all, I agree. I think Howard's way bigger than America's Got Talent. I also thought he was bigger than American Idol. I know at the time when Simon Cowell left that it was 30 million, 25 million viewers, but you know, I think. In my opinion, you never want to replace someone who's successful. You know,
well, he wouldn't be.
Simon Cowell was very successful with American Idol, and America's Got Talent is very successful in the ratings. Now, I know Howard would go and make it even bigger than it was, but I think both shows are beneath him.
To me, the way I look at it, it's not like what's beneath him or whatnot. It's like I wonder what Howard, if let's assume he's really considering it, and it's a real thing. Like, what is he hungry for? Like, right. What is the purpose of him? What would be the purpose of him doing it?
I think the purpose is, I know this sounds crazy, but Robin sort of hit it. He just loves the show.
Yeah, he plays along at home.
I think he loves the show. It's one of those things where, like, you know, Fred and I used to sit in our, at Fred's apartment, and we would watch Jeopardy. We'd go, oh, we could be on Jeopardy. And so it's like that, except somebody's asking you to be on it.
And he's also been offered, rumored to be offered the position with Idol, and every time a judge opportunity comes up, the first name that's thrown into the mix is Howard. So I'm sure he'd be interested in exploring that if it was a realistic opportunity.
I just see like he can do whatever he wants as a performer, and I'm assuming he feels okay money wise. I might be wrong. Maybe any kind of money is like is enough of an incentive. But or maybe maybe he does have hunger for a different kind of acceptance, like he got from Private Parts that he doesn't maybe have now. I don't know, but just it seems to me like he has like the ultimate creative freedom right now, and
yeah, but like anything else, like you're really good on the show, but if you had an opportunity to try something a little bit different where you had more of a voice. Although he wouldn't,
that's the whole thing. He wouldn't have more of a voice.
Right.
I find it because I do listen. Robin's right. He loves those type of shows. He loves the judging aspect of it. But it would seem much more up Howard's alley to develop a show.
But that's work. Now you're talking genuine work.
I also agree with whoever made the point. I think it was John that says either way it's work. Howard has too much pride in what he puts out there to just. First of all, if all it was being on the set, I don't care. I don't care even if it's the easiest job in the world. If you have to be on set for 4, 5, 6 hours, that's work. That's time out of your day.
But you agree it's a lot less work to step into a program than to develop a program.
Absolutely. But I agree with John or whoever said that. I don't. even if he did step into a program that already existed, I think Howard has too much of a pride in himself and too much of a work ethic to just slide in out of bed, do the show, and leave. I think he would want to have his mark all over it.
And John, do you think there's another subtext here about when last year when Howard's name came up a lot for American Idol, and it was sort of deemed that Howard's too dangerous for such a family show? Is there a small part of him that would want to go on and kick ass and prove that he can do it?
Absolutely. He alluded to that today when all those pundits were saying how he'd be cursing and all the bleeps and this and that. No, he's been on network television before. He knows how the game is played, and he'd be able to play it well.
But it's almost a part of me that says he would be like, specifically to American Idol, look what I did for the show. You should have hired me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason.
No, I was going to say he would that argument, the too dangerous thing, is so silly. It's such a fabricated argument. If anyone's ever read the Aerosmith or Steven Tyler biography, that guy was a maniac. Is a maniac in all aspects of life: drugs, women, everything. I mean, he's a complete maniac, and yet he is working fine on American Idol. I'm sure Howard could slip right in.
That's the example I was going to bring up. Steven Tyler is beloved because of his season on American Idol, and anything he did beforehand, other than Jason, I mean, people really don't care about. They see him in that judge's chair, and they think he's just so charming and funny, and I think Howard would have the same kind of reaction.
So we go back to that original argument. There are some Aerosmith. Jason, you're an Aerosmith fan. You're one of the biggest one I know.
Huge, all-time favorite band.
Does it bother you that Steven Tyler's on American Idol?
Yes and no. It's weird. It doesn't affect their music for me at all. I would go see them at concert tomorrow if they were out here. I love them. In a way, I actually dig that Steven Tyler has become so accepted on America. Like, in a way, I don't know. I guess it would have been worse if he went on and everyone thought he was just this moron, or it doesn't seem to have hurt his image as an icon, I guess is what I'm saying. Right. And even though it's not how I want to picture my rock star judging the show, I don't watch the show, so I don't have that image of him in my head. And it's kind of cool when to hear young people talking about Steven Tyler. So I guess it doesn't bother me, but the news bothered me at first, yes.
Mark, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hello. I was just wanting to comment if Howard does take the position that you're talking about possibly taking. The biggest backlash I think he'd have would be 3 days a week at Sirius here, and goes off to do that when he's looking at semi-retirement. I was just wondering what you guys thought about that.
Well, I don't know that Howard's looking at semi-retirement. He just was able to negotiate a deal to work the amount of days that he wants to work. So you're saying because he's working here less, it bothers you that he went somewhere else to work?
I don't know if I buy that. I understand that's how you feel, Mark, but I don't think that's the issue here. I think it's going to be more a matter of if he decides to go this route and be a judge on a summertime network television show, how are people going to feel about that? Matt, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Matt.
I was just wondering if you think, say he goes on the show, and first of all, I think he should. I think he's the greatest entertainer there is in the world. But if he was to go on the show and the ratings were to go down, do you think his ego could take something like that?
I don't know. I don't think Howard sees. One of the great things about that is he never sees it as an option.
I also think. I don't think the ratings would go down, and I'll tell you why. In the beginning, first of all, it's the top-rated show in the summer. Second of all, I guess there's space to go either way, but everyone's going to watch that show, certainly the first episodes, to see what happens with Howard, how the dynamic is, how it works out. And judging from Howard's success rate, you would think that audience would continue to build over time. But if it did take a dip, I don't know.
I'll tell you. I don't know about. I won't speak to Howard's ego, but if the show took a dip, the articles would be all about Howard.
Of course,
brutal.
And it's one thing if you really felt that you were responsible for the show going down, and it's another thing to have everyone in America scream and point the finger at you and going, "Aha! We knew you'd fall on your face, and we're here to laugh at you." Yeah,
but see, that brings up the more interesting point. If that did happen, I don't watch it enough. I don't think it's as impactful that America's Got Talent didn't do well as opposed to how people felt about Ellen on American Idol, because it's the bigger show. And when Ellen went on American Idol, everyone felt that she single-handedly ruined the show.
Right, and they unceremoniously booted her off.
But it's a different show.
That's a fair point. But the other thing is, if in the reverse, if the ratings skyrocket,
they won't give Howard any credit.
They won't give Howard any credit?
They might give him some credit. Well, actually, who knows? Because if it did go up, that would mean he's more of a mainstream star. Maybe the news would accept him. But right now, as things are, no, I think Howard gets credit when things go bad and no credit when things go good.
You could almost do the cycle in your head right now. Even with Steven Tyler, it started out, Steven Tyler's all wrong for this, is bad for his image. And then after he's on for a couple of weeks, it's like, wow, I didn't know Steven Tyler was this charming.
But Steven Tyler also had Jennifer Lopez coming on, too, at the same time to sort of equal out the shrapnel. Whereas this would be Howard, and that's it.
How
many
actual days is like? I know you don't know exactly, but basically, how many days of the show is this show?
Is it on twice a week?
I don't know.
Is it
on twice
so
a
it's like
week.
the American Idol model.
For how many
It's a
weeks?
summertime show. I guess what
12 weeks,
12
12
to 14 weeks.
Do you think it's just 2 days of taping a week, or?
Well, I think they're live.
I don't know. For some of it, they're live.
It's the exact same as American Idol. They do the pre-tape stuff in the beginning. They do the live stuff towards the end. They have 2 shows on the week,
but I guess
performance and results shows.
The question is the season is American Idol drags the season out because it's a summer show. Is the season shorter? Like,
I don't think so. No.
So it's probably at the very least like 20 days of work, 30 days of work.
Probably.
That's significant for Howard.
On Tuesday's wrap-up show, we started to have a conversation about why Howard likes when Beth says she's not looking good. It makes him feel good that she feels that way. And Benji chimed in with his Elisa Jordana hat, and then Ronnie said he agreed. And the secret to a woman's heart is poetry. That's right, Ronnie's a poet. Then later in the show, Eric Stonestreet, who plays Cam on Modern Family, came by just to say hi, and he immediately hit it off with Ronnie, who was hobnobbing with him about being out in L.A. and at the fights and NASCAR, and we all saw firsthand what it's like to be in a star like, not Eric Stonestreet, but Ronnie Munn's presence.
Now let's talk about the mutual admiration that Howard and Beth have for each other when either one says how horrible they look. It's a weird, Robin even commented on it. It's a very strange dynamic, but Howard's like, that's what I love about Beth, because she feels that she's looking disgusting, and she looked gorgeous today.
I know. Like I said, they're both in really good shape. She looked particularly good today. And yeah, what was she saying? That she couldn't possibly complain about her weight, could she?
She said she felt disgusting. Benji, you were in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's, listen, I think she's very hot, but it's a typical girl thing. Like, she said she felt like stuffed into her pants.
But Howard has those feelings too sometimes about himself. Yeah, he talks about how he's fat, and you know what I'm talking about.
Whenever Howard would make fun of, even when I was 20 pounds overweight, Howard would talk about me like I was 100 pounds overweight. So to him, every pound equals 10 pounds. So if he's 3 pounds overweight, he's 30 pounds overweight in his mind.
Ronnie, why does Howard love it so much when Beth talks about how bad she looks, or she's just not feeling great, or she thinks she looks disgusting? He's like, oh, I love the fact that Beth thinks that.
Because all hot chicks think that. They all think they're ugly.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't get it, but they all think it. They all think they're fat. They all think if they have like one meal that they ate too much, they feel like they gained 30 pounds. It's weird. They feel bloated. They can't move. Their clothes don't fit right.
Do you remember the show Just Shoot Me?
Yeah.
Remember the plot line with David Spade and Rebecca Romaine? Yeah. It was so great. He was dating her, and every time she sort of figured out that she might not like him anymore, he would tell her that she was getting a little heavy, or that she had acne, that she would feel so bad she'd just come back.
Now, do you like to see that in a woman as well, Ronnie, that attitude?
Yeah, I like when they think they're ugly. I think it's good.
And what's the best way to handle that?
Don't answer.
Oh, just ignore it and
just
play stupid?
Yeah, play stupid.
Is that the tactic you take, Gary, or you, Benji? If that ever comes up?
No, I want the chick I'm with to feel hot. I mean,
I agree with Benji.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but they're going to feel hot. They're going to try to make themselves hotter if they think they're not.
So if they don't think they look good, they're going to work harder.
Right, they're going to work harder to look hotter.
I mean, I joke around about it sometimes.
Oh, I joke around it
but you
all
don't
the
really,
time.
Do you really want Stephanie to feel that way?
No. But it works. Believe me.
Who are you joking around with, by the way? Not the girl, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The jokes don't go over well.
No, actually, chicks like that kind of teasing, but I mean...
No, they don't.
They don't.
Chicks like when you call them fat?
Yeah, they love it.
You're telling me if your girlfriend says, oh, Benji, I feel so gross. I look fat today. And you're like, yeah, you kind of do.
So
you think that's a good move?
Is that official? It's your girlfriend now?
He declared that
we're
yesterday
in the
on the show.
hat that we're all supposed to be ignoring.
Well, I decide we're all going to wear hats tomorrow.
Benji shows up to work today with a blue hat on with orange lettering that says Elisa on
Why
it.
are you guys all like pointing it out and make a big deal about it?
I told him I got 4,000 hats at home. That I'll bring them a regular,
No,
a regular different kind of hat.
Look,
to wear.
It wasn't. Yeah, I went to a store and all they had were Elisa hats. That's all they had. No,
yeah,
and by the way, in an amazingly ugly color.
Is it?
Yeah, it's orange on teal.
I've been told my eyes look real pretty in this.
It screams notice me, which comes as
who
no
told you that?
surprise
Lisa
to
G
you.
tell you that?
Lisa.
No, did Lisa G tell you your eyes
Nah,
look
Lisa
pretty?
looked pissed about it.
So you're gonna have a Stephanie hat tomorrow, Ronnie?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have a
sure.
Gary's wife hat tomorrow.
I'm gonna wear a Stephanie coat tomorrow.
One thing that you point out, which we do talk about quite a bit, is the relationship he has with Beth, and it's one of those relationships where you could just tell the two of them are still crazy about each other.
Well, I mean, what did he say? He made a love video for her.
Yeah.
See, again, this is great because on the one hand, I don't want to goof on him because it's genuine. It's not a bullshit thing. Some guys do stuff like that. It's bullshit. It's very genuine. However, if 15 years ago I came in and said I made a love video for my wife, he would have said, well, that's, the beginning of the end of your relationship because you have to do that. If you have to show how much you love your wife, blah, blah, blah. But now that he's in love, he sees things differently. But that's sort of been the core of the show. 15 years ago, he would have said, if you have to go to a party and drink, then you're a loser.
Right.
Now it's like, ooh, I love to drink.
People change.
And they do change.
People evolve. But, Gary, if anybody has the right to make fun of someone making a love tape, I would think it would be you. I mean,
well, no, because he's got the girl. I had my finger going towards the button to sort of try to figure out a way to use that thought. I said, you know what, I'm just going to pull that one back.
You ever done that, Ronnie? Made like a love tape?
No.
Never?
No.
Poems or cards?
Yeah,
or something
poem
like
and cards, yeah, but no tapes.
What's like the most...
When Ronnie was dating, they didn't have to.
They didn't have to, yeah, right. Thank you.
Well, what do you think of making a love? Like,
I would chip it out on a piece of cement.
Like Moses.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of making a love tape?
Hey, everybody's different.
You can say what you want. I won't take it.
No, I'm just saying.
If you think it's douchey,
no,
say it.
I didn't think it was douchey. I mean, you listen. Everybody has their ways of getting their feelings out. Okay, Gary, was trying his hardest to get this girl back, and the tape was the thing he thought was going to close the deal. But obviously,
I'll tell you,
wasn't meant to be.
One of the great moments was about a year after the whole love tape thing went down. It was on the air. We were playing it over and over again. And a guy came to me, a guy that I know pretty well, and he was a friend of a friend, and he said, listen, I'm going through this thing with a girl, and I'm going to lose her. And he said, do you think I should make a videotape? I go, are you fucking kidding me? I was looking for the cameras, but he was serious. He goes, do you think the tape might work? I'm like, you got to go talk to someone else.
All right.
Did you write the poems, or did you...
No, I wrote poems.
Oh, that'd be so great to see. Do you have any of them?
No.
Or?
The girls have them.
Do you remember any of them?
No.
What about if you write a card to Stephanie now? Would you include a poem or something like that?
Do you just underline
What do you
certain
mean,
words?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her. I don't know.
She's not here. I'm asking
I don't
you.
remember.
Oh,
I don't remember what I wrote.
So you're writing poems?
I don't know.
That's sweet. I think it's really sweet.
I don't know if I wrote any poems or not.
You totally
But
wrote
that
a
used to
poem.
be my thing, actually.
That was your go-to?
Yeah, that was my go-to. Poems, man.
Really?
Yeah.
When's the first time you did it? Like, when did you start working for you?
Before they had VCRs, yeah.
And now you think there's nothing better than it's better than flowers or something else?
No, flowers works. Girls love flowers. They love, they love the attention. They love getting flowers delivered at work. That's a great angle right there.
Agreed.
They like when the florist guy comes and they come to the receptionist and is blah 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 here. I have a delivery for her. It's like
they like that they get to show all their girlfriends that they got a good guy.
Exactly.
That's right. And imagine if there's a poem attached to those flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary, you never know who's walking in the halls.
Well, John and I are huge fans of Modern Family. Never miss an episode. With our good friend Danny Zucker, who had a cameo a couple of weeks ago. But with us now, who just was in the halls, is Eric Stone Street, who plays Cam.
What's up?
On Modern Family.
The Emmy award-winning actor.
Yes.
Eric Stone Street.
Yes, never forget that part.
No, you listen to the show quite a bit?
Yeah,
the Howard Stern
absolutely.
Show?
Absolutely. Danny, what did you think of Danny's performance, by the way?
Well, it was a second and a half long, but it was awesome.
It was hilarious.
He got a line, right? He got one line,
Yeah,
right?
he got one line. And
was that his voice?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Oh, that would have been hilarious if they would have had to dub over his voice.
I did.
For one line.
I did. I thought they looped it in.
That would have been. I'm going to tell him everyone thinks that. No, he asked me. At one point, he was like, "Just tell me how to say it. Just tell me exactly how to say it." So I gave him the line, and then he said it exactly that way. But yeah, absolutely. I've been a long-time listener of the Stern Show. You kidding?
Now, Eric, it's not. There's nothing official. Howard hasn't confirmed or anything, but he's rumored. It's been rumored that he could be the next judge on America's Got Talent.
Man,
good idea, bad idea. What do you think?
Well, I would love it. I mean, if he can be Howard, which I can't imagine he would do it under any other circumstance, that would be incredible. Is it on Against Modern Family?
I don't know.
I hope not. If he
when
says
is it on?
yes,
It's a summer replacement
It's during
show,
the
so-
summer. It's on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I think. But 8.
yeah, but it's on during the summer only, right?
Yes, it's a summer show.
That's amazing. I would watch it. I haven't watched it in a couple years, but I think Howard would be amazing on it.
He'd be pretty good. You didn't hear any of the show this morning, did you?
No.
We had Chaz Bono. Did you see Chaz in the hallway?
I saw Chaz in the. My girlfriend and I almost went a share in Chaz Bono for Halloween this year. She was going to be Chaz. Oh no.
Well, Chaz was on, but before Chaz, Beth came in, and we were talking about Howard's relationship with Beth and how you could tell how genuinely in love they are. Even.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, what makes women happy, and Ronnie was commenting on poems are his thing. He likes writing a poem to a woman.
Does he know who Ronnie is?
I assume you.
Yeah.
Hi, Ronnie.
How are you, man?
Good to see you. You're Ronnie, the
limo driver.
Limo driver, yeah.
Right.
He knows.
I know. This looks different though. Do you have something new going on in the facial hair area? No.
Yeah, I just cut this part of it off.
Okay. That's called a Van Dyke.
Gary, I cut it off 8 months ago. Where have you been?
Gary's
John,
like,
right?
I knew something looked different about you. You work with him every day.
8
You
months
didn't
ago.
know.
You've cut it off a while ago, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Fu Manchu with the little
with
soul
the little
patch.
dude
No,
in
that's
the
called a
middle.
Van Dyke.
But Ronnie, I like how you pretended that Eric wouldn't know who you are. I mean, your star has been growing and expanding all year.
Just making sure.
Do you know he's got this is no joke. He's got some sort of development deal with Fox Cable, one of the Fox Cable channels.
Fuel TV.
Fuel
TV, really?
Yeah.
Just about, like.
I can't talk about it.
Okay,
yet.
wow.
can't
Sorry,
talk
I
about
didn't
it.
mean to go there, Ronnie.
I just got back from L.A. and
Okay,
I was told not
get
to
it.
talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I understand.
Meetings.
He was at the fight last week, walked the red carpet.
I was at the fight.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there.
I didn't see you in the VIP room with us.
I was in the VIP room with my friend Brock Lesnar.
Well, I didn't see you.
Yeah.
Ooh, Brock Lesnar.
What fight were you at, though? The Pacquiao or the MMA?
No, MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Brock Lesnar's become a pal of mine.
Yeah, I was
It's the funniest matchup ever, right?
how'd that
Cam
happen?
and Brock Lesnar hanging out at Morton's Steakhouse. I met him through some friends of mine, Kevin Harvick, the NASCAR driver. And
That's my buddy. I'm going to see him Sunday.
They're
to get
good
the
friends.
race.
Do you want to date?
Yeah. I went with Kevin when Kevin threw out the first pitch at the Yankee game. We hung out all night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so do you know Jimmy John, the guy who owns Jimmy John Subs?
No, I don't know him.
That's how I met them all.
Oh, okay.
Was through that guy. But Brock and I have become pals, and he's a tough guy. He's got to fight, the Alistair Overeem on December 30th.
Cool. Are you going to the race this weekend?
No.
You're not going to make it?
No.
Are you a race car fan? Of
I
NASCAR?
love NASCAR. Yeah,
NASCAR's awesome.
I got into it because of that. It's like I grew up watching late models, race in Kansas City. Kansas City's a big race town. But then once I sort of got to go to NASCAR and sit on top of the pit box and watch it from there, it's like, who
It's
could
awesome.
not be a fan of this? This is incredible.
Do you ever drive one? Do you ever go to any of the
I
schools?
can't fit in the car.
Are you serious?
No.
Come on. Now, you ever go to the schools?
No, I haven't.
Try a school. It's
Kevin
great.
has promised me he'd take me around the track.
No. You don't want to go around the track with Kevin driving. You want to drive it yourself. I'm telling you.
Stop yelling at me.
It's a great rush, man. I'm telling you.
I would love
You got to
to
do it. I did Pocono.
Hey, can I tell you something real quick? Pepto-Bismol is why I'm here today, and I'm helping Feed America give 2 million meals away this holiday season. Go to facebook.com/Pepto-Bismol, and they'll donate 8 meals for every time you like my turkey.
That's great.
That's why I'm here today.
That's great.
Thanks for having me in. This is freaking awesome.
Come by Superfan one day.
I'll do it.
All right.
Hey, what's up? On Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked about office bromances that included myself and JD, John and Gary, which you've heard about, and how Jason and JD do not have an office bromance because apparently JD thinks Jason is not better than him and he shouldn't be allowed to make fun of him. Got a little weird, but a lot of it's funny. Check it out.
Howard spent some time today talking about a bromance, Will, between you and JD. And were you aware that you were the father figure in JD's life?
Well, he does call me daddy,
No,
so I
do
assume
not.
that
I don't call you daddy.
that
I
was
never
the
will.
relationship, Dad.
You know what? I went over to JD and I said, listen, if you need an older brother figure, I could be that. He goes, well, I'd rather have you than Will. He goes, Will's like Chet from Weird Science.
So Will picks on JD a lot and breaks his balls and beats him up from time to time. But
he busts him and just
steps on
him and spits on him.
Yeah, that's breaks, you idiot.
But JD comes back for more, Will. So clearly he enjoys the relationship.
Hold on, I don't come back for more. I go in and try.
He's like an abused wife.
I try and say hello to a friend and whatnot, and I get this every day.
But if it bothered you, JD, like, wouldn't you tell Will, okay, enough? Let's just get along or try and work things out?
You know what? It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm able to take it, and he is funny. So
He does the same thing to me, so it's not.
I'm not hardly ever.
How does he abuse you?
He makes fun of me. He hits me from time to time.
How?
He hit me in the office or in the studio this morning.
What'd you
he
say?
He punched me.
Oh,
I don't know
physically?
what I said. Something stupid.
Yeah.
I like his shirt. Never mind. That's not even.
No,
worth getting
let's not
into.
even go there.
Well, why? What shirt are you talking about?
What are you wearing?
JD has this great shirt.
Oh God.
He's actually wearing it today. And
What does it say?
It says Karma.
Well, he's wearing a sweatshirt.
But no, he's covered it up.
under,
He doesn't
yeah.
like wearing it. So it says Karma on the front, but we've memorized everything that it says on the back. So each letter, stands for another word. So K for Karma is for kindness. Right, Jamie?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
I haven't read the shirt. You and Greg Carmel, the fucking asshole, have
is
read it more
for-
than me.
The second A is for abundance. I can't. Second A is for acceptance. Third A is for R is for respectfulness.
This is what I deal
Respect.
with. Man. This is every time.
M is for mindfulness.
Did you pay for that
and
shirt?
A is for abundance.
No, it was a free shirt and
So
go on.
I just try and live by the words that are on JD's shirt.
And every time I walk into a room, every time I wear this shirt and I walk into a room, and Will's like, "Hey, don't forget, be knowledgeable."
But as a sidebar, one day for TV, we should do a JD Benji free shit from the Glombox fashion show.
Oh, you wouldn't have enough time. You wouldn't have enough time.
They wear the most bizarre shit that we throw away.
Yeah, Teddy's made the comment to me a few times that Benji's been wearing the same thing for 3 weeks now.
3 weeks straight. He's
Well,
been,
except
he's
for-
been wearing that exact outfit for 3 weeks.
Is that true?
No.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I have photos to
When
prove
was the
it.
last time you saw this shirt?
Not the shirt, the pants and the shoes and the pea
Oh,
coat.
like you change your pants.
Oh, man. I can't believe that girl sleeps with you.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
No, they sleep in a bed together. I mean, it's
okay.
disgusting.
But second base, we heard. Congratulations, Benji.
Yeah, I'm not even clear what bases are.
What do you think the
Just touch
bases
your
are?
titties?
I always forget. Like,
First base is kissing, second base is touching titties, third base is fingering, and home run is getting laid.
mostly first base.
Mostly first base.
Yeah.
No finger blasting?
No.
Howard sounded surprised that this relationship between JD and Will even existed, Gary, but during the breaks, it's clear that it exists.
Yeah, it's funny because Howard's not in the office a lot. I mean, I know I see all of you guys have. I think everybody in the office has a weird relationship, a funny relationship. Whether it's goofing on everybody when they go out to eat together, like I think even you and Steve Brandano and Jason have a funny relationship about how you decide, and JD about how you decide what you're going to eat that day and what groups you're going to go out in and where you're going to go, where you're not going to go.
That's true.
And how Burger King's never on the table.
Well, that's my opinion, but yeah, that's true. We definitely do have that, and everybody gets along really well. I think.
I think so.
But I don't think that there's one like JD is sort of friends with everybody. I know he's tight with Will. He's tight with me.
He doesn't like Jason.
Well, Jason.
I like Jason fine.
No.
He can annoy me sometimes.
The thing that's funny about JD, and we're going to get to Jason in a second because I'm curious about that, but the thing that's funny about JD is JD's like he's like really mellow, like really, likable, and he's like a good guy. But then when you find out he doesn't like someone, oh my God. Like once we found out he didn't like Jared, he was very vocal about that.
If it was brought out, sure.
So what's up with you and Jason?
There's nothing really up. Just sometimes Jason can annoy me, just like he annoys everyone else. Well, what do you want? I'm sure I annoy people. Hello?
No, I'm just listening to this. I'm listening to you describe your relationships. That's all.
Listen, we're friends. I'm friends with Jason.
Do you think Jason's hurt that it used to be Will and Jason and now it's Will and JD?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Jason and Will were both a little annoyed with being paired together all the time.
Is that true, Will?
It used to bother me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it now. But yeah, there was a time, absolutely.
See, that was another great moment when we got on the air and we found out that Will and Jason Jason was unaware that Will and he weren't best friends.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are times around here, and literally everybody has gone through this with Jason, where you just want to fucking pull his head off, and I was going through that for a long time, and it was weird because it's almost like a cathartic situation where when I talked about that on the air, it almost lifted everything. Like I have never had an issue with Jason since. I almost feel bad that I said that on the air. We're as good as friends as we ever have been at this time. So.
But I get it. It was like, remember, for years it was Ganji and Grillo, because when you live together, everybody thinks you're really good friends. I always find it weird that people pair up on the show, either to hang out or out of necessity to live together, and then you find out they don't really like each other that much.
Well, Sal and Richard being an exception there because
Right.
they're paired up and they like each other. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys ever seen the two of them be angry at each other for any reason?
No.
Right? I mean, that's pretty incredible when you think about it. They spend a lot of time with one another.
It's them against the world.
Maybe they take that kind of attitude. I don't know. But, Will, when you had that sort of cathartic experience, is it because like you kept that bottled up inside for a long time?
I think so, yeah. I tend to do that. In fact, when people go, oh, you don't like JD, because you pick on him all the time, it's like, if I didn't like you, I just wouldn't talk to you, and I'd probably bottle up more than actually, bust somebody's balls.
And Jace, you know the way you are. People are going to get pissed off at you at one point just because you kind of provoke that a lot of times. But you're still tight with everybody in the back.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know it's funny to say like, oh, everyone hates Jason, but I don't. You guys spend a lot of time with me for people who supposedly hate me. So yeah, I get along with everybody.
Do you think there's anybody in this group that you've never pissed off?
No. How could you go through life never pissing somebody off? I mean, I love you, but I'm sure you've pissed me off in the past and vice versa. I think that would be weird if I didn't piss anybody off.
But there's pissing people off, and then there's intending to piss people off.
Kind of like what Will says, though, and I know you're always the butt of this, John, but I mainly do that to people I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I love busting on you, and not because I don't like you. It's actually the opposite. It's
because I totally get that.
I'm sure I piss people off. Hopefully, my friends know that it's just me being me and not trying to be too mean to anybody. And so far, so good. But I'm a little jealous of the JD Will relationship.
We know,
and it's not because of Will; it's because of JD.
Will's gone; he got married.
No, but Will and I are bros. I'm not going to use the word bromance, but I'm very secure in my relationship with Will. I think we have a great relationship. But with JD, and I know why, and it's more the reason why JD doesn't put me on the same level as Will and John that bothers me more than the fact that he doesn't. And the reason why is JD thinks, and rightfully so, that Will and John are better than him in some way, but that I am like at the very least on the same level of him, if not worse. I'm his Mendoza line, and it drives him crazy when people pick me over him in F, Marry, Kill games. It's never he gets it why they pick Will, but why Jason, that fat guy? Blah, blah, blah. He really, I think there's too much of a closeness between me and him in terms of our status or rank for him to look up to me. And the way he looks up to John or Will.
Well, where do you see your status or rank in relation to JD?
I don't see it anywhere. I'm just here doing my job, but I think JD ranks. I would be happy for JD if something good happened to him. I'd be sad for him if something really bad happened to him. I don't necessarily do the ranks. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, how could you pick JD for this and not me?
It was more, I don't necessarily know if it's the status, but whenever it was every intern, like if an intern would have picked, had sparsed it out a little bit between me, effing me and effing Jason or whatever, but it was literally every single intern. I'm effing Jason. I'm killing JD every single time. It's like, what the fuck?
So because Jason befriends them.
Okay, whatever.
But if they had picked Will every single time over you, I don't think it would have bothered you.
Well, no, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I don't want to hear anyone,
So this all stems from the intern's F, Marry, Kills?
There's nothing that, no. I like Jason.
Benji, I think you're put in this category too. Do you take offense to that?
The dud category, by the way. No, Benji gets effed and married sometimes. I'm the one that gets killed all the time.
It bugs me that when I get killed in the game, when the interns kill you or whatever. But I don't. Well, I kind of get what JD means because he has said to me like he gets pissed if I beat him or vice versa. And I get that.
But do you resent the group that you're competing against?
I do.
I would like.
I know how
we've established that.
Yeah, I think there's truth to that. I'd rather be in an F, Marry, Kill with you and Will.
Okay, but hold on a second. Whenever they do an F, Marry, Kill, and say Will and I are in it, Will always wins because I recognize that he's better looking than me. I don't hate him for it.
But you're in the category, Gary.
What
That's
category?
what the issue is. If it's Will and two other
Meaning
guys,
you could possibly compete with Will.
You're in the,
and that's why it's fine that you're in that category. And again, I know
I'm usually not though. It's usually me and John and somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
They do
Gary,
the old guy group.
By the way, when you talk about the Mendoza line, I feel like looks wise, I'm batting like 211.
Oh no, I think you're. Wait, what's Mendoza line would be
200,
but 200. But it would be what would the definition be? That would be the best looking the last best looking person in the office, or like what's below the Mendoza line?
The beginning. Well, yeah, maybe I'm batting 199. It's the beginning of the. It's the beginning of the ugly people.
Yeah. Jason, JD, and I are in the like guns at your head line.
Right.
All right.
You know, it's like when we go to a party, and I know this is going to piss off Scott Salem, but nobody wants to be at Scott's table, and it's not because people don't want to talk to Scott, but it says something about you, like, oh, they put me at Scott Salem's table, I must be a shit on.
So if you look at like the little cards that come out, if Scott's at table 6 and you're at table 6, that means that you're in Scott's category.
I will never forget. Will and I went to Fred's surprise birthday party from Robin. And we got the card, and we saw we were sitting at Scott's table, and we were just like, "Oh my God, Robin hates us."
Did you ask?
No, I had a worse experience because I was at Scott's table at Howard's wedding, and you weren't. I'm like, holy shit! And Benji too, I think, right?
Who does Scott see? He's at the table and it's like, oh fuck.
That's a great question. We should get Scott in here to see what he feels about that. One more question.
I think Scott's just happy to be at the table.
One more question before we go to break. Gary, has Howard had a bromance? Does he have a bromance with anyone here? Like. Some people have said Fred before. Some people have said you.
I don't think it's me. I don't think it's Fred.
Ralph, maybe?
I think Richard Christie or JD is another one. He loves both of those guys.
He's got a tech bromance with you. You know, when it comes to techie stuff, he likes you a lot. He's never yelled at you on the air. He's goofed on you a little bit, but you're pretty Teflon when it comes to taking shit on the radio.
Yeah, but the bromance thing is, I do talk to him about tech stuff and some other stuff,
and
I guess.
you Skyped with him, which is sort of tech.
But I do think that, I mean, Ralph certainly. JD, he definitely has a soft spot for. I mean, he looks out for JD.
But not a bromance.
Yeah, right. It's a difference. He sees JD as like a little brother.
Have you seen JD? There's plenty of soft spots, by the way.
But I got to tell you, for all of us, one of the biggest soft spots we ever had for JD. You know, JD's been with us for a long time, and we know him now. We goof on him and everything. But when he first started with us, he was working for us, but not making a lot of money and just, sort of doing his thing. And we all appreciated him.
Still not making a lot of money.
And when he came in and he got punched in